To work here in the bottom of the first inning. And Charlie Manuel's squad try to get on track offensively again after a quiet night last night. And the lineup for the Phillies looks like this. Jimmy Rollins leads it off at shortstop. Shane Victorino, the center fielder, bats second. Chase Utley, the second baseman, hits third, followed by Ryan Howard, the cleanup batter. Howard 4 for 21 for his career against the Padres. Raul Ibanez moves up to the number 5 spot because there's no left-handers in the pen for the Padres. Jason Worth, the right fielder, hits sixth. Pedro Feliz will bat seventh to play third base, followed by Chris Coast and Cole Hamels. They will take on the tall Texan, right-hander Chris Young for the Padres.
Former Princeton basketball player, and guy's off to a great start this year. You see the numbers on him coming off a tremendous effort. The opposition hitting just 191. He pitched really well against the Giants his last time out. There's a scouting report on him. He doesn't throw real hard, but he is very deceptive. Good curveball, and he's right on top of the hitters with that big 6'10" frame.
Yeah, the second tallest pitcher in baseball history behind John Roush. And he delivers the first pitch to Jimmy Rollins out of the strike zone. So the count 1-0. Jimmy this year hitting just 111. No home runs, 3 RBIs. He's only scored 2 runs.
Got the pants hitched up tonight.
And he hits this one in the air to right. That's going to drop in for a base hit.
Probably doing that for luck. And he got some luck because he got jammed.
Charlie Manuel was saying yesterday that he thought that Jimmy Rollins was close to getting out of the offensive funk he has been in to start this year.
Time now for our Key State Chrysler Jeep Keys to tonight's game, this beautiful night at Citizens Bank Park. Well, Phillies hope that Cole Hamels progresses tonight, and no left-handed pitchers on the entire San Diego staff, as Tom just mentioned. Could that in fact be an advantage for the Phillies? We'll see.
Well, it's so surprising to see any major league team without at least one left-handed pitcher on their staff, but this is a Padres team that has essentially been revamped from the ground up, and Charlie Manuel knows that going into tonight's ball game, and I think he hopes that his team gets off to a very quick start this evening.
Young's going to throw over to first a few times. You can really run on him because he's just so tall. Even when he tries a slide step, it takes him a while to get the ball to plate.
Shane Victorino, the batter. Victorino ahead in the count, 1-0. Showing bunt, takes the off-speed pitch for a strike, and it's 1-1. See Shane's numbers this year: a home run and 3 RBIs. That home run came in Monday's game against the Nationals. He and Rollins have combined to score 8 runs in the early part of this season. Another toss over to first, and Jimmy just back ahead of the tag from Adrian Gonzalez.
It's a better move than Young had when we first saw him pitch for Texas. He pitched a game at Veterans Stadium against the Phillies. He was pretty quick with that one.
Quick tag too by Adrian Gonzalez, the first baseman.
Rollins Gold Glove winner last year.
Another throw over it again. Rollins is back. Bud Black, the manager of the Padres in his 3rd season. Bud was a pretty good pitcher during his 15-year career, and so far as the skipper of the Padres, he's got 159 wins and 176 losses. Rollins does not go, and the pitch is low, so it's 2-1 to Victorino. I mentioned that the Padres are somewhat surprising this year with all of their turnover because of payroll difficulties. I don't think anybody expected that they would win 7 of their first 10 games to begin the season. They're tied atop the National League West with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Rollins doesn't go again. It's 3-1 to Victorino. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Nick Capozio from Philadelphia. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's game, then Nick will win $200. Introducing McCafe coffees at McDonald's, a new line of lattes, mochas, and cappuccinos. There goes Rollins, 3-1 pitch, ripped foul. So we'll have to do it all over again. Jimmy got a great jump.
Good count to run on. This is also another good count to run on, 3-2. Charlie Manuel has 3 or 4 guys on the ball club. Jimmy, of course, being one of them who's on their own. See right there, he, as Tom said, had a really good jump. I mean, he's trying to steal that bag as much as run on the count. Now he's running on the count, so you have to make sure you don't leave too early and get picked off.
Good size lead off first for Rollins. There he goes again. 3-2 pitch, line down the right field line. It's a foul ball. Victorino stopped about 10 feet from home plate, and that gave you the first indication that that one was going to hook foul. But he's on top of Chris Young right now.
How about Chris Young walking near Jimmy Rollins right now? This should be some shot. Watch this. He just saw the top of his helmet go by about belt level. That was funny.
Yeah, Jimmy stands about 5'10".
Well,
Chris is about 6'10".
Jimmy's not
listed at 5'10".
Jimmy's not 5'10".
Well, and Chris Young is all of 6'10".
Yeah.
So he's more than a foot taller than him. Again he goes. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground. Past Gonzalez into right field. Rollins with a good jump, heads to third. And the Phillies have something rolling here in the bottom of the first inning. Runners on first and third with nobody out.
It's good base running by Jimmy Rollins. Just took a look over his shoulder and saw where that baseball was heading into right field. Goes to third easily. He did get over to third and put his hands on his knees for some reason. Maybe he's just winded from all the running he's been doing. Here it is. He takes off running on the count under the or past Gonzalez into right field. Now watch him take a little peek back here, and he doesn't even have to look at third base coach Sam Palazzo.
So runners on the corners now for Chase Utley. There's Jimmy catching his breath. I think that's all that was.
Yeah.
He was catching his breath.
Yeah, you saw him right away put his hands on his knees like, uh-oh. But he did a lot of running. He'd already gone to third one other time.
It's been a good start for Chase Utley. 393 on the year. He was just 1 for 7 in the 2 games against the Nationals. An early threat for the Phillies here at the bottom of the first inning. Victorino goes. The first pitch taken for a ball to throw to second, nowhere near in time. Great jump by Victorino, his first stolen base of the year.
It's the first time we've seen this all year because it seems like they're always down runs in the first inning. They always come in trailing, and it takes away a lot of stuff that you can do. You know, this is just an easy stolen base for him. Hundley has no chance.
And it hasn't been often that Victorino and Rollins have been on base at the same time for Charlie Manuel. So good speed in scoring position. Rollins on third. You just saw Victorino on second. The count 1-0 to Chase Utley.
He's going to try and pull the ball now.
And he does pull it high in the air, deep to right field. Forget about that one. Long gone. Off the fingertips of a patron in the first row of the second deck. And the Phillies lead it 3-0. Home run number 2 on the year for Chase Utley. And he has just won $200 for Nick Capozio of Philadelphia, courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
A lot of trouble with location for Chris Young here in the first inning. There's another fastball, middle in, down. He pulled it all right.
And now Ryan Howard, the batter. And they play Howard to pull, of course, as just about every team does. There's Chase Utley, that second home run of the season. And a lot of questions about that sore hip. Well, for the first 9 games this year, that hip doesn't seem like it's bothering anything about his swing. Ryan off to a good start. He too struggled somewhat in the series against Washington. He was just 2 for 8 against the Nationals.
You know, one thing we noticed in playing Padres last year is how deep Hairston plays in center field. There's no guy, he plays almost every hitter like this. Now, maybe not quite that deep. You can get so many balls in front of this guy. But he's just a deep center fielder.
Well, he is way back behind the pattern that's been walked out in center where the center fielder normally stands.
It makes no sense to play out there at this point in the game. You know, that's something you might do late in the game to have in a no doubles defense. If it's over your head, it's off the wall or out of the ballpark.
And Howard down on strikes as Chris Young lays a curveball on the outside part of the plate. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Bud Black talking with Darren Balsley, the 6th-year pitching coach for the Padres.
We rolled out some off-speed stuff then. He got hurt on fastballs with the first 3 batters. Threw Ryan Howard a lot of junk and got him to chase.
So 1 away, and Raul Ibanez the batter. See Hairston at the top of your screen. He again plays deep for Ibanez.
Plays deep for everybody.
Ibanez with a .303 batting average, 3 home runs so far this year.
Can't believe pitchers like that. Pitchers I've ever known like the center fielder to play shallow, take the ball away in front. If it goes over your head, that's my fault.
Yeah, really. And as you said, too, if it's over his head, it's easily off the wall.
Right.
Two-0 pitch to Ibanez. 3-0 the count. Young has fallen behind every hitter he has faced in the first inning. Wheels mentioned before, Chris Young out of Princeton University, where he was an all-Ivy basketball player as well. Lays a strike in there to make the count 3-1.
He's one of those guys you want to get him quick like this, because great starting pitchers like Young can really settle down.
Well, Utley got him quick with a 3-run home run here in the bottom of the first inning. Ibanez takes one on the outside corner. It's 3-2. That's Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire. Young played just 2 years of basketball at Princeton, 2 years at baseball. Played under Bill Carmody in basketball and Scott Bradley, the former big leaguer in baseball. As Ibanez stays alive. He was selected in the 3rd round by the Pirates in 2000. And he was the Ivy League Rookie of the Year in '99 in both football and basketball. He finished with over 800 points in 2 years on the basketball court. 3-2 pitch. Hit foul again.
You think he was an NBA player?
He was definitely an NBA player. In fact, he was scouted and offered a contract with the Sacramento Kings. And that's what then inspired the Texas Rangers, the team he was playing for at the time, to give him a 3-year guaranteed contract. Ball 4. Ibanez draws the walk. So the Phillies keep on rolling here in the bottom of the first inning.
Good job by Rule. Ibanez take a 3-2 breaking ball. They're out of the strike zone. And Ibanez made a tremendous play in that first inning to save a run.
He came a long way to record the final out in the top of that first. It's only the second time this year that Jason Worth has not batted in the number 5 spot. He's hit second once, and here he bats 6th. And the first pitch to him, taken inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. That is now 6 straight first pitches out of the strike zone for Young.
Well, he throws a lot of pitches in the course of a game because guys foul so many balls off on him on high fastballs.
That one's on the inside corner, so 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's very deceptive. I think his high fastball maybe 88 if that. But he can throw up in the strike zone, and guys swing and miss at him and foul pitches off. They say he's hard to pick up.
That's why you can see that he's among the career leaders, or active career leaders, in batting average against. Worth takes one below the knees for a ball. It's 2-1. Jason was 2 for 9 in the series against the Nationals. Phillies as a team are 8th in the National League right now in batting average with a .261 mark. They were way down toward the bottom for the first 3 or 4 games of the year until the series against the Colorado Rockies. And they kind of woke up in game 2 of that series, and Charlie Manuel's team carried that over to the first game in Washington and then went quiet last night in the final game of that brief series. There goes Ibanez, 2-1, hit off the end of the bat, a flare shot to right center field. Hairston on the run, so is Giles. Giles makes the catch, has a chance to double up Ibanez, but didn't get enough on the throw. And Raul hustles back. Yeah, there are 2 away. A long run for Giles, and that's because Hairston, as Wheels mentioned, was playing so deep in center field.
Can't get to that stuff.
Hairston will go back to his spot in center. And you see, even with Pedro Feliz at the plate, he's just above that worn out spot in center field. So runner on first, 2 away here at the bottom of the first inning. 3-0 Phillies and a home run by Chase Utley. Ibanez goes, the pitch gets away from Hundley. Now that's going to be a stolen base for Ibanez, his first of the year, and it's the second stolen base of this inning for the Phillies.
That's what we talked about early in this inning, that they're going to run tonight on Young every chance they can, because he tries his best, but he just cannot hold runners on. Puts a lot of pressure on the catcher Hundley, trying to come get to that thing quickly and throw, and no chance.
Oh, and Chris Young has had the impact of Greg Maddux as one of his teammates, and Maddux has always told a lot of pitchers that he works with and is part of a rotation with that you shouldn't worry about the base runners, that the percentages don't favor the team who gets a guy to steal second or even third base. And Young, because of his height and his overall lack of a good move over to first, allows so many stolen bases.
Well, and those first 3 hitters got some fastballs to hit because he was worried about the speed.
2-0 pitch to Feliz. Taken high, ball 3.
You could see he's trying to throw high fastballs to Pedro Feliz, and that you cannot swing at them if you're a hitter and expect to handle Chris Young. You got to get him to come down in the strike zone.
Here comes pitch number 32 in this inning, and it's a ball, and it's the second walk issued by Young in this inning. Feliz will join Raul Ibanez on the base paths, and here comes Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, to try to settle down his big right-hander.
17 balls, 15 strikes in the first inning. Just really struggling with his control. And this guy has pretty good command a lot of nights.
Well, and he's got good numbers against the Phillies. Wheels mentioned the outing against Cole Hamels last year. Overall, he's 2-1 with a 1.96 ERA, just 3 games. But he has pitched exceptionally well against the Phillies. The Phillies looking to tack on some more. They lead it 3-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Darren Balsley back to the dugout, sitting next to Bud Black. They might be one batter away from getting somebody up in the pen, although Coast is the number 8 hitter at the pitcher on deck. And that's the first time in this inning that he has been able to fire a strike to start an at bat. But Darren Balsley did go to the phone and try to get somebody up and loosen it.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of pitchers available. They're going to get De La Cruz up. They call him Frankie.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Instead of A. Eulogio.
1-1 the count to Coast.
You hear the story why he's Frankie?
I did not see that story.
They said Jim Leland had him last year, and he said, I'm going to give you 4 names to pick from because I can't remember your first name. And he took Frankie.
So Jimmy Leland's now renaming people, huh? 1-1 off the end of the bat, hit foul, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That'll find the seats. So there is Frankie De La Cruz, who loosens up in the pen for the Padres. This is kind of a makeshift bullpen for San Diego. The only holdovers from last year are Clay Meredith and Heath Bell, who is the closer for the Padres, and that's basically it. They have patched things together.
No more Trevor Hoffman. That seems strange.
Yeah, Trevor Hoffman will be in town this week, though, with the Milwaukee Brewers. That one's in the dirt. Nice play by Hundley.
Yeah, he's DL'd. He has a oblique problem, I think, or groin, something like that.
See, Feliz on first base. Ibanez on second. 3-0 Phillies here in the bottom of the first inning. Another pitch in the dirt, and it's 3-2. So the runners will be off. And Hundley's getting a workout behind the plate for the Padres.
Well, you look at the numbers that Chris Young has come into this game with, and he is way out of whack right now.
Well, this is his third 3-2 count of the first inning. He has thrown 37 pitches, and the Phillies lead it 3-0. Ibanez and Feliz will be off. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, foul off the third base bag, and it hooks it to the seats. Kuzminoff gave it a glance. It's amazing to think that Chris Young has been already on 4 teams, 29 years old, and with a world of talent. Began his career with the Pirates, then the Expos, then the Rangers, and finally the Padres. Again, the runners take off. 3-2 pitch. Line drive over the glove of Kuzminoff. That's a fair ball. Heading down the left field line. Shoots off the half wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Feliz. He's going to score. And the Phillies lead it 5-0 here in the first inning. Well, you fall behind all those hitters, and you're finally going to have to come in with a fastball. That's what Coast was able to get into and pull down the left field line.
Well, this is the way the Phillies have been playing. They switch it around a little bit. They've been trailing big time in so many games. See the fastballs down a little bit? That's where you hurt Young. When he gets the fastball down, and with the runners going, 3-2 pitch, it's easy to score 2 more.
So the Phillies have batted around. Here's Cole Hamels, who takes a strike. Hamels stake to a 5-0 lead here in the first inning. Cole got just 1 official at bat in his first start of the season. He wasn't around that long to get another at bat. And he pops this one in the air down the left field line, slicing toward foul territory. Headley on the run, and he runs out of room.
41 pitches for Chris Young, not out of the first inning.
It's almost like the outing that Chan Ho Park had last weekend for the Phillies in Colorado. As De La Cruz continues to loosen for Bud Black. I think that if you're the manager and the pitching coach in the first inning, when you're your star pitcher, your number 2 guy. He's number 2 behind Jake Peavy. Struggles like this. I mean, you got a lot of wonderment about what to do to settle him down.
Well, or you just figure this is one of those nights, and we'll go get him next time.
Outside for a ball. It's 1-2.
He's a fly ball pitcher too. This would be a terrible home park for Chris Young. The ballpark he pitches in, Petco, San Diego, is great for him because it's huge.
That one is looped towards straightaway center field. Hairston's got a lot of real estate to cover. He makes the grab, and the inning is over. But the damage is done for the Phils. They scored 5 runs on 4 hits. The big blow. Here it comes. Chase Utley, a 3-run bomb. Phillies are up 5-0. Miss Harry Callis, and he missed a heck of a first inning, but somewhere he was watching as the Phillies took a 5-0 lead thanks to a 3-run home run by Chase Utley. And joining us up here in the broadcast booth, the Harry Callis television booth, is his son Todd, as Cole Hamels begins the top of the second by firing a strike. And it's a very emotional week, not only for the folks out in the Delaware Valley, but obviously Todd and his family. And Todd, I'll tell you, Kane really banged out that national anthem tonight.
What a performance.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was strong, especially considering all the emotions involved. That was impressive.
It was impressive, and you were saying that you walked into this booth, and the first thing you did as you walked into the booth, what happened?
How about that? The first time I walk into the Harry Callis television broadcast booth, first pitch I see in the booth, Chase's 3-run homer.
It'd be nice to keep walking in every time the Phillies have some base
And the
runners.
second time I walked in, you had to double down the line. So there you go. All 5 RBIs in the first. But the first pitch I see in this booth, since it's been named, is a 3-run shot.
A diving stop for Feliz on the hot shot by Headley. And there's one away here in the top of the second inning. Well, we've been down in Washington, obviously, these last couple of days. And you see the placard that's outside our television booth here. And it's beautifully and tastefully placed out there, and Whitey's got one outside the radio booth. And I know I was overwhelmed coming back on Tuesday to see the memorial outside this ballpark by the Mike Schmidt statue. What are your thoughts of everything that you've seen over these last couple of days?
T-Mac, that's where it really got me. On Tuesday, going over there, seeing the statue, it was kind of like all the reality set in, and seeing all the love from the fans. And it was a strong moment. I had a tough time looking at it. I had to go back later on in the afternoon to really take it all in.
Now, I hadn't seen that shot right there, that picture, but that was a beautiful portrait that was placed outside the ballpark. I mean, that was stunning. I hadn't seen that until today.
I hadn't seen it either.
Wow. I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. And this is the Mike Schmidt statue that we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's the area. And look at that. I mean, look at all those flowers there. I mean, that's the area where I first walked to when I got here. And that was it was a tough moment to look at that. That's a beautiful thing.
Here's Nick Hundley, who was the batter with 2 men down. Hundley on the year hitting 300, no home runs and 2 RBIs. Well, I was sort of taken aback when I walked into the ballpark today and saw the signatures down the first and third base line. And then the beautiful billboard that's out in left center field as well.
It fits. Everything fits. And that's his signature right there. That is perfect. The way it was put there on the field. I don't know how they did that.
I don't know how they did it either.
They captured his signature perfectly. And then, I mean, that is exactly
unbelievable
how he wrote his signature.
They found a picture in the office that he had signed for somebody that hadn't gotten it.
Okay.
And used that.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
It is.
I was thinking the same thing, Ty, when I looked at it. I said, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Line drive to straightaway center field. Victorino got a good jump, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Cole Hamels here in the top of the second inning. We'll spend some more time with Todd Callis as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Phillies lead it 5-0. Tomorrow here at the ballpark from 8 a.m. until 12:45, a memorial honoring Harry and his passing. Fans will be admitted on a first-come, first-served basis. The ceremonies on the field begin at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, if you aren't able to get here, coverage will begin on Comcast Sportsnet beginning at noon. We're spending some time with Todd Callis, and Todd has been up here this entire week after hearing the news that his dad had passed away on Monday down in D.C. And Todd, I know it's hard for the fans to embrace the fact that your dad won't be around. We were trying to tell people that he would have wanted to be at the ballpark.
Yeah.
On Monday, and he was preparing for the game, and it was a difficult day, but he would have wanted to be at the ballpark.
He was not going to be a good retirement candidate. He just loved this game so much. He didn't have a whole lot of other hobbies going on. This was it. I mean, he did not want to. I even think he re-quoted Whitey saying, "You could take those golden years." And,
sort of.
Yeah.
Paraphrase.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready for that.
Golden years, or
yeah, something like that.
David Eckstein recovers the throw out. Jimmy Rollins.
It doesn't seem that long ago, Tom, that Todd was a kid sitting in the television booth, was out at Veterans Stadium keeping scores on Sundays, keeping our scoreboard.
Back with the ticker.
Yeah, we had the ticker.
Oh, with all the paper floating out.
Yeah.
I remember those tickers. I mean, literally the paper was flying everywhere.
Yeah, every Sunday I would be sitting in the booth, and Dad would have his big cigar, which I think half of it was because he enjoyed it, and half of it was because he knew how much he disliked it.
He wanted to annoy me with it. That's all. And then fans.
And it would be 100 degrees at some of those July days.
Stunk. And fans would send him the cigars, and then some other Bruins would send me those portable fans to blow on it. We had a great shtick going in those days.
I have a new Macanudo for you today.
Macanudo is a fine cigar.
And of course, Wheels would be making a comment, and somehow the smoke trail would go right into your face.
And you laughed. You thought it was a great. Yeah, my daddy, what a comedian.
I would have thought that everybody would have laughed at that, Wheels.
They did.
Yeah.
It was disturbing but fun.
0-1 the count to Victorino, and he loops one to right field. Giles got a good jump, and there are 2 away. Todd, what are your impressions of just how the whole city, the Delaware Valley, has embraced your dad's memory? I mean, I was trying to explain it to people from outside this area. I said it's difficult to explain it. It's just been unbelievable.
Our family has been overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I never knew what it was going to be like. You know, I knew they had an incredible relationship. My dad and Phillies fans and the whole area. Never knew what it was going to be like. This has been way more than anybody could have expected. And tomorrow, I can't even imagine what that's going to be like.
There's Chase Utley, who homered his last time up to give the Phillies a 3-0 lead.
Man, it's going to be a great day, too.
Yeah.
Mid-70s.
Oh, perfect.
Great day to tee him up.
Yeah.
He was the world's greatest putter. He used to tell us how.
Absolutely.
Mr. Kalunka.
Nobody beat him in those putt-offs.
Never.
Well, that's the thing. When I first started with the Phillies, he was still playing golf. And or at least I should say, he was still putting.
In the scrambles.
Every one of our outings, I mean, he would win the putting competition.
Kalunka. That's how many times did I hear that? All right, I know you won again.
2-0 to Utley is skied in the air to shallow center field. I don't think Hairston sees it.
He's too far out.
Rodriguez, though, the shortstop, sees it, and he makes the catch. Todd, we appreciate it. All the best to you and the family.
I appreciate it.
And
Thanks.
we're going to take a look at your first pitch, Brad's first pitch, and Kane's first pitch to some legends there. Jimmy Rollins, John Crook, and Mike Schmidt. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan forum section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, on September 11th, 1977, the Padres were victimized by a rare triple steal in a 7-3 loss to Atlanta. Who were the 3 brave base runners? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Luis Rodriguez leads it off here at the top of the 3rd. Phillies have a 5-0 lead, thanks to a 5-run bat around bottom of the 1st inning. It was Luis Rodriguez, who is hitting .294 to start the year. Number 8 batter for the Padres. And he hits this one in the air deep to left field. Ibanez going back, and that one is gone. Rodriguez with a solo home run on a pitch that was in the perfect spot for a right-handed hitter just to drop the head of the bat.
Down and in.
So it's now 5-1 in favor of the Phillies. Charlie Manuel has seen a lot of home runs by the opposition in the early part of this year. Rodriguez's last home run, as you saw there, was back in July of 2007.
First National League home run. He hit 6. Well, actually, it was out over the plate a little bit down the middle. You know, the ball's starting to come back towards the barrel of the bat. You're right, Tom. He's not a big guy, and that's the easiest pitch for him to hit out. He had 6 in the American League with Minnesota over several seasons.
Now here's Chris Young with the count 0-1. Make that no balls and 2 strikes. 73-mile-an-hour changeup, or I should say curveball from Cole Hamels. Young is 2 for 5 in his first 2 starts. He stands way away from the plate and make it 2 for 6. First strikeout of the night for Cole Hamels. So 1 away. Head back to the top of the order. Hey, next week when the Brewers and the Phillies finish up their 3-game series, it'll be a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Game time is scheduled for 1:05. Midweek, midday baseball at its best. You can order your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. Brewers are in New York this weekend, and they trail the Mets 3-0 in the top of the 3rd. Livan Hernandez pitching in that ball game for the Mets. Here's Scott Hairston. He doubled his first time up, was stranded on 3rd, and he hits this one to the gap in right center field. Great jump by Jason Worth, and they're 2 away.
That's a pretty good defensive outfield. You know, Ibanez is, you know, average, maybe a little above. He probably runs a little bit better than Pat Burrell, as he showed in that first inning when he was able to run that ball down. And you know, Worth is very capable of playing center field. There's Raul. Worth could play center field and has. And of course, Shane Victorino covers a lot of room out there.
Yeah, Victorino, Gold Glover last year.
Well, Worth does perfectly on that. It's a right-handed batter, so the odds are it's going to slice back towards you.
David Eckstein takes a pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1. Yeah, and with Victorino shaded over toward left center field, that was, you know, really only Jason Worth who could get to that ball. Eckstein sacrificed his first time up.
Talk about a guy who plays the game right. You don't think these pitches are strikes, and he has a good eye.
He is 34 years old. Boy, he has been a pain in the neck in the American League and National League for a long time. And he's down on strikes. A good inning for Cole Hamels after the home run hit by Luis Rodriguez. So the Phillies' lead is whittled down to 4. But the big man, Ryan Howard, will lead it off as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Is brought to you by Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Dodge. Live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge. Grab life. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. Every day you must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. Now there is the Mike Schmidt statue outside of the ballpark, which has become a memorial for fans who have dropped off flowers and notes in memory of our good friend Harry Kalas, who passed away this past Monday. Beautiful ceremonies before the start of today's ball game.
Great to see Todd, of course, not under those circumstances, under these circumstances, but One of the really good people.
Howard leads it off, and Howard fouls one away. It's 0-1. We mentioned Todd and his brother Brad, and of course Kane, who is a freshman at the University of Miami, who sung the national anthem before the start of this ball game. 0-2 the count, and I guess it's safe to say that Harry's pipes were passed along quite nicely to young Kane Callis.
Yes. He sings a lot better than Harry. I know. I was witness at many nights in many piano bars.
Yeah. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, so it's 1-2.
There was nothing like a Tim McCarver, Harry Callis duet.
Who would be the lead?
Well, Harry would try, but Timmy take over. I mean, it was going to be Timmy at the end.
It remains 1-2 to Ryan Howard.
And they love their show tunes.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Chicago Cubs edged out the Cardinals 8-7. Alfonso Soriano, the league leader in home runs, hit his 5th. A 2-run shot. 2-2 the count to Ryan Howard.
He is not seeing many fastballs from Chris Young. A lot of changeups, 3 or 4 changeups on this at bat, breaking balls. Young has really gotten hurt on his fastball tonight, and he's not giving Ryan Howard one to hurt him.
Well, and it seems like it's been a pattern for all pitchers this first couple weeks of the season. And that off-speed pitch rings up Ryan Howard for the 2nd time in the ball game.
Yeah, he's just going to have to. Martis did that to him last night in Washington. And Ryan has been very, very patient this year. But if they're going to throw him that junk and they're not strikes, nobody knows better than Ryan Howard, he can't swing at it. It's probably a ball. It is. Another changeup. And the frustration shows there. Like, throw me a fastball, and they're figuring, well, why should I?
Yeah, he may not get too many fastballs, particularly when the pitcher doesn't have to throw a fastball. Ibanez looked like he got a fastball there, and he takes it for a strike. Ibanez walked and scored in the 1st inning, and he sends this one to the air to fairly deep left. Headley back to the warning track. It's carrying, and he missed it. Takes a hop off the left center field wall. Ibanez heading to 3rd. He's gotten there sliding. And Raul Ibanez hustling all the way. And that should be a misplayed triple for Raul.
Yeah, I don't know whether that thing got up in the twilight and he lost it, but he was running it down and out the whole time. This guy's more a hitter than a defensive player. That's why they have him in the game. But you said it best, Tom. Hustle. Right there, he's struggling with it the whole time. Never touches it. And Ibanez busts it the whole time and gets himself to 3rd base. Big play with less than 2 outs.
Well, it is a triple for Raul Ibanez. And Headley, who looked like he saw it off the bat, but then lost it as he was going back to the wall.
Hairston lost the final out of the 2nd inning when that ball hit by Utley to center field. Just that kind of the time of night.
Now with the infield in, Jason Worth takes a pitch high. It's 1-0. See Ibanez on 3rd. That's why the infield, which is about halfway, hoping that they get a hot shot that maybe they can cut off Ibanez at the plate. That one's hit foul to our right. It's a heck of a play by that Phillies fan, where the Pete Rose jersey. Ball caromed right off of the visiting TV booth.
Off those bricks over there.
Yeah, shot right back to him. Another pop-up foul. This one over the Phillies dugout.
Young can strike people out. He doesn't look like a strikeout pitcher because he didn't throw very hard. But he gets a lot of strikeouts when guys chase pitches on him, and that's what he's looking for right now. Of course, with Ryan Howard, he just kept throwing him change-ups and breaking balls.
Well, he's gotten Ryan Howard twice in this game. A 1-2 to Worth. Breaking ball lifted in the air, shallow center. This is going to be a tough play. Eckstein on the run, the second baseman back, and he makes the catch. Oh, what a play by David Eckstein. And Ibanez was a quarter of the way down the line, so he heads back to 3rd. That is not an easy play for an infielder.
Tough play, especially when your center fielder's playing with as deep as theirs does. And Eckstein has to know by now that he's playing with Hairston, that center fielder. He's not going to get any help on that play. He knew that was his all the way, and he made a heck of a play. He's a shortstop. Shortstops are good on pop-ups. And here he's playing second base now.
Yeah, he grew up in the minor leagues with the Red Sox as a second baseman, but when he went to the Angels, he was moved over to shortstop, and In his 9-year big league career, he only played shortstop. So this is his first year back at second base. Pedro Feliz now the hitter. Feliz walked his first time up and came around to score. 0-1, waved at it, foul tipped it to the glove.
It's one of those situation hitting situations that the Phillies are in right now and have failed to this point. Now it takes a hit or a wild pitch, an error, something like that.
Up high, 1-2 the count to Feliz. Pedro hitting .308 this year. He's 8 for 26. He has not had a whole lot of success against Chris Young. Line drive to left. Phillies are going to get that run back that they gave up into third. It's an RBI single for Pedro Feliz as Ibanez crosses the plate, and it's 6-1 Phils.
Like one of old Mike Schmidt hits right there sometimes when he would bail like that and then just reach out and flick at it. Looked like he threw him a breaking ball, fooled him. And Ibanez's hustle, of course, got him to third base where he scores easy. Right here, see it? Oh, yeah. I mean, he really pulls off this thing and then flicks the bat out and gets a base hit out of it. Nice job by Ibanez and Feliz.
Chris Coast now the batter, and Coast hits one up the end of the bat foul behind home plate. Yeah, you are right, Wheels. That was all set up because Raul Ibanez hustled his way to third with that misplayed triple.
Well, it doesn't mean that he couldn't have scored from second with 2 outs.
Very true.
But then it's a no-brainer. Third base coach likes it.
I'm not sure if that guy liked it too much. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Chris Coast did not play yesterday. Lou Marson started, got 2 base hits behind the plate. Line drive, and Chris Coast has 2 base hits in tonight's ball game. That one down the left field line. Feliz to third. He's being held there, and Coast into second with his second double of the ball game.
Just not Young's night. You know, they make a misplay on a ball in the outfield, and then he's throwing some pretty good breaking balls in this inning. But they're just elevated enough that even though these guys are pulling off them, they're hitting them. Here it is again. Very similar to the pitch he hit the first time up. Also to the one that Feliz hit. Kind of one-handed a slider into the corner.
So 2 runners in scoring position for Cole Hamels. He was up in the first with Coast on second base. Phillies lead it 6-1. Hamels flied out to Hairston, the center fielder.
He must feel he's going to get out of this because there's nobody up.
It's hit in the air to center field. It's pretty deep. Hairston played him perfectly. A few strides from the track. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. Phillies do get the run back on an RBI single by Pedro Feliz. Oh, we mentioned that Harry passed along his pipes to his son Kane. He certainly did. Michael Barkan and Leslie Goodell will be live from Citizens Bank Park for coverage of the Harry Kalas Memorial Tribute. Immediately after the tribute, Comcast Sportsnet will encore tonight's Phillies-Padres game. On a gorgeous night for baseball. The crowd has been energized by a 5-run first inning. And I would also think energized by the ceremonies that took place before the ball game, honoring our great partner Harry Kalas, who passed away this past Monday. I don't know about you, Sarge, when I walked into the ballpark today and saw the signatures down the first and third base line, and then glanced at the outfield billboard that is in left center field, you know, to me, it was getting choked up all over again. And my emotions had sort of calmed down a little bit coming back home last night.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more. And Video Dan put together another great film.
Brian Giles is going to be retired for the first out here in the 4th inning.
I guess you should call it a tribute, really.
Sure, yep. Well, Video Dan Stevenson, who's the Phillies Emmy Award-winning videographer, with the help of Larry Anderson. He did the voiceover work, put together a beautiful tribute that was on prior to the start of the ball game tonight. And then, of course, the first pitch. I mean, just seeing, you know, John Kruk, Mike Schmidt, and Jimmy Rollins out there, that legacy, that timeline of players that spanned really Harry's career. That was something, too.
Yeah, you could see Crucky. It was kind of getting to him for sure. And he was up in the booth up here when we were getting ready and, you know, driving in, getting emotional. Yeah. But again, you know, it is when you lose a real good friend like that and somebody that you knew that cared, and like he said, he had your back. It can be emotional.
Adrian Gonzalez, the batter. Gonzalez takes a curveball and whacks it to second base. Chase Utley will take care of him. 2 away here in the 4th inning. Well, again, we've mentioned before that tomorrow the gates will open at 8 a.m. here at Citizens Bank Park, and Harry's casket will be behind home plate. And the Phillies are going to try to accommodate as many fans as possible to come to the ballpark and get a chance to pass by and say a prayer, as Harry's casket will be, as we said, behind home plate here at the ballpark. And then the ceremonies will begin around 1 p.m. Eastern time here at the ballpark.
Yeah, they will be here in numbers, guaranteed. Terrific fans here, and they all loved Harry, obviously. And they're going to show their respects by coming out. I wouldn't be surprised, and I mean, not encouraging it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were people camping out there, Tom.
And I would agree with you. That one's hit back toward the middle under the glove of Cole Hamels. So a base hit with 2 outs for Chase Headley. And Headley, who had 4 hits last night against the Mets, picks up his first base hit in tonight's game against the Phillies. Well, stay informed throughout the 2009 season with MLB.com team text alerts and video alerts. Customize your mobile alerts, including news, game summaries, scores, and more. Sign up now by texting Get Phillies to 65246 or visit MLB.com/mobile. 2 away here at the top of the 4th inning. And the batter is Kevin Kuzminoff. He bounced back to Cole Hamels his first time up. Now, from a baseball standpoint, I think Cole's changeup has been pretty sharp tonight.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good changeup. The problem is his fastball wasn't as good as he would like to be able to set the changeup even better. Plus, when you get it up high in the zone, much easier to hit. Hairston hit a ball that was up in the zone, and you can tell when you're looking at Cole wanting to get that ball down, that's when you get a little bit more movement, and he wants it down. Less damage.
Well, here in the 4th inning, he has rung up just 38 pitches. This will be number 39. And he lays that changeup in for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Well, he gives you the effort. Every time he goes to the mound, whether or not he has his good stuff or not, does not make excuses. The kind of guy you do like on the mound for you.
Changeup swung on and missed, and that is perfect location for the Phillies left-hander, and he retires Kuzminoff to finish off this 4th inning. 6-1 Phillies as we head to the bottom of the 4th. brought to you by your Quality Plus Ford dealers. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEF-NOW. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Jeep. Hurry to your Jeep dealer and see how good the best values in America can be. Sold out crowd watching the Phils and the Padres game 1 of 4. The offense has picked up really where it left off on Monday. They had won 3 in a row and then somewhat quiet last night against the Washington Nationals. And Jimmy Rollins batting for the 3rd time in this game. Got a single to start a 5-run rally in that first inning.
Oh, those first 2 guys get on, put so much pressure there on that offense.
Pop up toward third, and Kuzmanov is going to make the call, and in foul territory, there's one away. Well, we mentioned before that it's important to get to Chris Young early because, like a lot of good pitchers, he has the ability to settle in, and he's got a world of talent. The biggest thing for Young is to stay healthy. Now, last year, he missed a lot of time because he was hit with a line drive back to the box, and that cost him a few starts.
Hit him right in the face. Matter of fact, it was Albert Pujols on May 21st. Line drive. Albert was actually crying when that happened.
Victorino's going to get a base hit off the glove of Eckstein. Even if Eckstein had fielded that, I don't think he would have thrown out Victorino, and that's his 2nd hit of the ball game. Hey, don't forget they're back. Dollar Dog Nights here at Citizens Bank Park, brought to you by Hatfield's Phillies Franks. First one is this Monday, the 20th, when the Phillies wrap up the series against the Padres. Then stick around because next Monday, the 27th, when the Nationals are here to begin a series, it's a Dollar Dog Night, and the final one in the near future, May 12th against the Dodgers. You can order your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. And Sarge, I remember that when Pujols was in tears because as a hitter, it overwhelms you that you could do that kind of damage. Well,
you see the ball coming off the bat, you hit the line drive, you see exactly where it goes, and again, Pujols was in tears. Then not only that, the other play, that same inning, Josh Bard, the catcher, remember when he slid in and broke John Bard's leg or ankle. So he took out the whole battery there on 1 inning.
Well, we can chuckle about it because both Chris Young and Josh Bard are okay. Bard's playing with the Nationals. 0-1 to Utley, who homered his last time up. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, speaking of those Nationals, John Baker's solo home run has given the Marlins the red-hot, smoking-hot, desert-hot Marlins a 1-0 lead.
Well, they've been cooking on all cylinders, getting it from the offense, getting it from the defense.
They're 8-1. Well, Sarge, how about this swing?
Well, you can just put a star all over it. Short and quick to the ball. Bam! As it gets out of here. And you like the way Utley does it because he doesn't look, doesn't show the pitcher up, gets around the bases. Then he'll pull off his hat and go right in the dugout, start looking at the pitcher to see if he can pick up some other clues.
There goes Victorino. Pitch is taken low. No chance for Hundley, and Victorino's got a second swipe of the ball game. Stole a base in the first. He's in scoring position. And that base was stolen against Chris Young. Well, as Harry used to like to say, there's a stolen base for Victorino.
Well, just look at the jump, though. There's no chance at all. He's stealing that on Young. You better watch out because he can go on and steal third. Even though he's a left-handed hitter, the big jump, though, that Victorino's getting will allow him to get right there. Plus, they got a little bit of a shift, so might be hitting a running target.
Victorino takes his lead off second. I was going to say that Harry used to like to say about a hitter when he had a home run for his career against a pitcher that he had him in his book. Well, Chase Utley has Chris Young in his book twice now with that home run back in the first. And this time he moves Victorino over to third. And they're 2 away. So 2 outs here at the bottom of the 4th inning. Phillies lead it 6-1. See if Ryan Howard can solve Chris Young.
Yeah, the game plan, though, for Chris Young was to stay off of his high pitches. Kind of difficult to get on top of him. You saw that one by Chase Utley, not able to really drive the ball the way that he wants. This guy stays high in the zone, although he has been throwing some good changeups to Ryan Howard, keeping it kind of out of the zone there.
There's a fastball that's cut out and fouled into the glove of Hundley, and that might be the first fastball that Ryan has seen and that youngster has seen being thrown toward Ryan Howard.
Yeah, you stay on the fastball, adjust. That way you're not fooled on the pitch that's easiest for you to hit.
Victorino on third. He singled and stole second. Went to third on the ground out by Utley. Chris Young has 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And that's a shot down the right field line. Fair or foul. It is a fair ball. It's going to get Victorino home, and it's going to get Howard at least to second base. And that's where he is standing. The Phillies with another run on the RBI double by Howard. And they now lead it 7-1.
Oh, just an awesome attack. You got Utley, then you have Howard. Always the potential to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He smoked that double down the right field line. Just take a look at this swing. Boy, hardly any movement, any stride. Look at that as he drives the ball. Now look how it game ventures again as it hits the chalk. Bounces away. Boy, well, that'll send him to the showers.
Well, Chris Young's night is done with 82 pitches. The Phillies have been on a torrid pace with runners in scoring position through the first 4 innings. They are 4 for 8, including that double by Ryan Howard. We've got a new pitcher coming in for the Padres, with the Phillies leading at 7-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the fans have liked what they have seen from this Phillies offense. We'll see if it continues when we return. They come home and begin a series against the Washington Nationals on the 27th, the 28th, and 29th. All games are at 7:05. Tuesday the 28th is the Charlie Manuel Bobble figurine. Free to all fans, compliments of Toyota. You can log on to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Oh, Luis Perdomo is the new pitcher for the Padres. He's appeared in just a couple of games so far. His last appearance was against the Mets when he went 1 inning. And he fires a fastball for a strike to Raul Ibanez.
That fastball, 92. He slings the ball. Sometimes those pitches are a little more difficult to hit, especially if you haven't seen them.
Good live fastball there that came at 92. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And I think that Perdomo may have gone to his mouth, and that's exactly what Laz Diaz is saying. Went to his mouth on the mound. And on a warm night like this, you can't, blow in your hand, and you can't go to your mouth on the mound, and that means that there's a ball put up there. As you see the 2 go up, so the count is 2 balls and 1 strike now to Raul Ibanez. There's Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire. Three and 1 the count.
Last one of those umpires that you don't particularly want to argue with. You argue, he'll get right in your face.
He's got a temper.
He'll take that mask right off. I'm telling you. And on both sides, he just does not take a whole lot.
Ball 4. Ibanez draws the walk, and the Phillies have runners on first and second with 2 outs.
And he's a good umpire. Balls and strikes. Think a little bit fair. Yeah, and I like him because he calls strikes that are close. They always have to be right there on the plate.
That'll bring Jason Worth to the plate. Worth is 0 for 2. He's popped out twice. Phillies lead it 7-1. They scored 5 in the first. They added 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth. Looking for more here in the fourth. Perdomo, originally out of the Cleveland Indians organization. And he was selected by the San Francisco Giants in the Rule 5 draft in 2008. And then signed by the Padres this past offseason as a minor league free agent. Slider away. It's 2-0. You know, normally, Sarge, teams come into Philadelphia and they have their supplemental bios. And, you know, the first couple of weeks, there might be 1 or 2 extra players in those supplemental bios. And then as the year goes on, that list gets longer and longer. Well, the Padres have 7 players in their supplemental bios. And what that means is that these 7 players weren't on the team in spring training.
Exactly.
So they've made some late additions to their roster.
Yeah, because if they had been, they would have been in the press guide. But hey, they end up making that club, and you got to like that. Bud is saying, their manager, Bud Black, that they have been getting good pitching, timely hitting, excited about the way they've been playing so far.
Worth got the green light, and he pulls that one foul. It's 3-1. Nice play by Sam Arnone down the left field line. Well, these are the new additions this year for the Padres. I mean, it looks like the beginning of the Brady Bunch, but there are literally 12 new players that are on their 25-man roster this year that weren't on it last year. That's a lot of changes.
I'll say it is. Eckstein, usually a shortstop, moved over to second base, and he has more of a second base type of arm. There's Bud Black, the manager.
Well, see, this is what Bud Black has to deal with. See, this is the supplemental bios. I mean, you can't really see all the names, but look at all the way down. Usually at this point in the season, you stop right here. That's it. And then maybe by the end of the season, you're down here. But the Padres are already down there. And my thought is that Bud Black and his PR staff might have to do a new media guide. There's so many changes.
Has been. But they needed new changes in the way that they were playing, and we kept a lot of the players, obviously, in spring training. They had a lot of jobs that were up for grabs, and you bring out the best of players when you have a little competition.
Runners go. There's ball 4. Worth draws a walk. Back-to-back walks issued by Perdomo. And the Phillies now with the bases loaded, and Darren Balsley heads out to the mound. Talk to his young right-hander. Phillies have had base runners, and a lot of them through the first 4 innings, and boy have they capitalized. I mentioned before that they have done a nice job with runners in scoring position. I mean, you know, they didn't do a great job last night against the Nationals. They sputtered last week at home with runners in scoring position, but they haven't sputtered tonight. Hey, reminder, tomorrow beginning at noon, Michael Barkan and Leslie Goodell will be live from here at Citizens Bank Park for coverage of the Harry Kalas Memorial Tribute. Immediately after the tribute, Comcast Sportsnet will encore tonight's Phillies-Padres game.
Got that pitch up to 93 on the outside part of the plate. Page are kind of looking for that ball more middle in, if you will.
An RBI his last time up, and he slams this one to straightaway center field. But Hairston had it played perfectly. He plays so deep, and the inning is over. Phils get 1. Perdomo works out of a bases loaded jam. We've played 4. Phillies lead it 7-1. They have taken a 7-1 lead as we move to the top of the 5th inning. And Cole Hamels will face the bottom third of the order. Boy, I think if there's any question or was any question about Cole and his health through 4 innings, he's kind of answered those questions in tonight's game. His fastball has hit 90, 91 miles an hour at times. His changeup has been located beautifully. There's a good changeup there. And the count, no balls and 1 strike.
Fastball there up to 88, but you're right about that. When he starts to get his fastball, he gets more confidence.
All right, let me apologize there. I thought that was a changeup just by the bat speed, but that was a fastball listed on the board. That was a changeup.
Yeah, you can always tell, though, it went from the back on his changeup because he's gripping the ball in such where it looks like he's covering the whole ball. It's that little circle changeup that he throws. Greg Maddux made that famous from the right side.
That pitch taken down and away, and that one a change up at 79 miles an hour. I had a conversation with Cole early on Monday, just about his health, because I knew he had thrown a bullpen on Sunday and was scheduled to throw another one on Monday. And as we were in the middle of the conversation, he just put both hands up and said, "I'm fine. Please tell everybody I'm fine. This is crazy."
Right. Well, a lot of people get concerned when he doesn't have the velocity up there. There was a changeup.
And it's 3-2.
Once he gets that velocity where he wants it, I mean, he becomes that pitcher that you want him to be, and that's going into 7 and 8 innings and giving your team a chance to win.
3-2 pitch. Inside a ball. That's a fastball at 90. And he issues the walk to lead off this top of the 5th inning. Well, it's time now for our Geico quote of the day. Comes from Rich Doobie on Cole Hamels' struggles. He's playing catch-up still. Some guys who pitched all spring training are scuffling. Just because he didn't have a good outing, it's not the time to start shooting up flares and calling for the rescue raft. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO.
Yeah, that's a good quote there. And again, it wasn't because he was hurt. If he was hurt, and they're shutting him down, that's a different story.
And if he was hurt, then he would have been shut down. And I think that's the point that Rich Doobie was trying to make.
Cole doesn't usually pitch if he is hurt or if something's wrong with his arm. He knows his body, knows how it's supposed to feel. And really, as young as he is and as much talent, you want him to speak up when things are bad or not feeling good with his arm.
He's ahead 0-1 to Luis Rodriguez, who homered his last time up. He pulls this one on the ground to third. Feliz has to hurry to second for one. And they do call the runner out at second because Chase Utley was trying to take the ball from the glove. As Hundley is retired for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a play there. It was actually really slow, kind of developing. He gets a good toss there, but the runner now is right up on him. As you can see, clean slide going into Chase, trying to get him to get up. He was trying to throw the ball in exchange. That's why the runner was called out.
Well, Luis Perdomo now will bat for the first time in his major league career. And he offers that one and bunts it foul. And it looks like he's batting for the first time in his major league career.
That was awful. It really was.
You didn't like that, Sarge?
I got to tell you, though, it's not all that easy to just go on and try and bunt the ball, although you don't want to jab at it. You want to keep your bat out in front. Oh, my goodness. His hands are...
Uh-oh. That's going to be an easy pop-up for Ryan Howard.
Well, they'll have him in the cage trying to do some bunting. Looked like his hand was kind of almost wrapped around the bat. Good way to get your fingers hurt.
Well, a reminder, folks there out in the Delaware Valley, the Pennsylvania Lottery, the Powerball is up to $31 million. It's drawn on Wednesday and Saturday, so that means tomorrow evening, Sarge, the next drawing will take place. Make sure you go out and get your lottery tickets.
Could you use that?
Oh, I think we could all use that. You could. That's right. You couldn't. That's because you're friends with the president.
Oh, come on now. No, I could use that 31. I can tell you that.
So could the president. Here's Scott Hairston, who takes one low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Hairston doubled his first time up, flied out to right his last time up. A 5-run first inning, the difference for the Phillies. They took a 5-0 lead right out of the chute. They built it to 7-1. And they've ridden the offense, but also the pitching of Cole Hamels in tonight's game. Hamels has thrown first pitch strikes to 14 of the 19 batters that he has faced in this ball game, and that's a good sign.
Boy, that's key. You got to want to stay ahead of the hitters, and you can get them to swing at bad pitches when you do.
That one is a good pitch for Hairston, and he smokes it to deep left field, and that one is gone. A 2-run home run for Hairston. It's the second homer of the night for the Padres, and they've cut this lead to 4. It's now 7-3 Phillies. And the fans here at Citizens Bank Park are trying to get the fan who caught the ball to toss it back onto the playing field, which has become a tradition not only here in Philadelphia when the opposition hits a home run, but all around Major League Baseball.
Yeah, in Chicago, though, they kind of cheat a little bit. They have a ball in their pocket, then throw it back short and quick to the ball. Again, that ball is up in the zone. If it's down, it's going to be less damage if he hits it. That ball right in the hitter's eyes.
Well, second home run that Hamels has allowed tonight, as we mentioned, second home run of the year for Hairston. Rich Doobie's team has a 4-run lead, and he watches as Eckstein takes a pitch that's up in the zone, and he lines it back through the middle for a base hit. A little trip to the mound now for Rich Doobie, who, by the way, Sarge, I don't know if you know this or not, but Rich Doobie, before the ball game today, found out that his son Michael, former Phillies prospect, was traded.
I thought you were going to say going to the major leagues.
No.
What a setup.
Well, he might because he was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, again, those kind of teams, if you have a good arm, you have a chance to pitch in the major leagues, whereas with a good team, you wouldn't be able to do that because they already have their pitcher set. In Pittsburgh, they're more rebuilding, so they're looking for arms. So, good luck to him. Yeah, as long as you have a team that you're going to and want it, that's the big thing. Well,
he was traded from the White Sox to the Pirates for Andy Phillips. So he's traded for a former big leaguer.
Maybe Pittsburgh trying to load up with good arms.
Well, he does have a pretty good arm. 2 outs now, top of the 5th inning. Phillies lead at 7-3 in front of a sold-out crowd. David Eckstein on first, and Brian Giles, the batter. He's 0 for 2. He's popped out, he's grounded out, and he takes a fastball outside, and it's 1-0.
One of the things with San Diego getting off to such a good start, they've been able to come back from games. Brian Giles not off to such a good start, but you start to feel that you can come back and win ball games.
Check swing, excuse me, base hit to left field for Brian Giles. That's just his 6th hit of the year. Eckstein will stop at second base. The Padres with 2 away have 2 runners on here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, that was one that you would call lucky, although he'll take that. Stay in there, and that was back, however, but that is nothing but luck as he.
When we take a look at our Firestone leaders, and Brian Giles with 835 hits, and that is 6th on the all-time hits list in Padres history. Gene Richards, 994. Man, that guy could fly, couldn't he?
Oh, boy. Could fly. Leadoff hitter.
Well, that graphic brought to you by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Now, we showed those numbers there for Brian Giles. Those were just his Padres numbers.
Oh, yeah.
One Adrian Gonzalez pulled foul. That's 0-2.
Yeah, this is the best hitter on their team. As you can see, Coase going out to talk with him. A couple of things. Eckstein might have been able to give him a pitch or location, so they'll go out and talk about that and maybe change it. Eckstein at second base, always trying to look for an edge or help his teammates out.
See Eckstein on second. Over at first is Giles. Neither runner being held on. The count 0-2. And the pitch to Gonzalez off the inside corner.
Well, one of the few hitters in the league on that left side that doesn't bail in terms of left-handed pitching. He put up some strong numbers and not having a lot of protection, meaning a guy hitting behind him that can hit.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the third base umpire, Scott Barry. Gonzalez doesn't think so, but Barry has rung him up. And the inning is over. Padres do score 2, but they strand 2. Middle of the 5th. Phillies are leading it by a score of 7-3. Did he go, folks? Well, the umpire says he did, and that's all that matters. Many signs that have been popping up around the ballpark tonight. Some ceremonies prior to the start of this ball game honoring the memory of Harry Kalas. In our television booth here, rightfully renamed the Harry Kalas broadcast booth. And a beautiful sign that was put up on the wall outside earlier today. And it joined the sign that's outside the radio booth in honor of Richie Ashburn. From this earth, out of here. Harry Kalas. Boy, the fans have really not only shown their support, but we want to thank all of them for their unbelievable notes, emails, phone calls on behalf of the Phillies and the Kalas family as Chris Coast leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. You know, the measure of a man really can be weighed many different ways, but if you're going to measure the man that was Harry Kalas, all you have to do is see the outpouring of well wishes that have gone on in the Delaware Valley and beyond during these last 5 days.
Well, they're passionate fans, Tom, and always have been. You know, they've always liked the way that Harry has called the game, although early on, just almost like everybody else, it seems like you go through an initiation here in Philadelphia.
3-1 pulled on the ground to third. Kuzmanov. It's a wide throw, and Gonzalez is able to hang on to the bag. And a reminder that tomorrow the memorial that will take place here at Citizens Bank Park begins at 8 a.m. Get here early, folks. And it will last until 12:45. Fans will be admitted on a first-come, first-served basis. And ceremonies on the field will begin at 1 p.m. There'll be a number of folks that will eulogize Harry during the ceremonies tomorrow. And Harry the K's out in the outfield with a number of pictures and the black draping honoring the death of a man who, boy, seemed to call every big moment in Phillies history since 1971.
And with flair.
2-1 the count to Hamels. I don't know about you, Sarge, but you know, many people have asked this week, you know, about Harry as a broadcaster. You know, growing up in New Jersey, I used to listen to Harry and Whitey and Andy Musser and Wheels and Teak and, you know, all those guys, not only on television but also on the radio. And what I've told people is that, you know, you can listen to the broadcast and the telecast and know that the pipes are there. I mean,
oh my!
I mean, top 2, 3 pipes of all time. But to me, you know, just the style of all the guys that were part of the Philly broadcast team, most notably, of course, Harry. That's one thing you take, but also the man itself. I mean, just the amount of time that he spent with the fans every city we went to.
And his preparation, and I mean, he loved it. He loved what he was doing. I mean, you have to say the way that he got here, and this is why, you know, he kept saying, well, I feel great because when he got around baseball, when he got to the ballpark, that's when he felt the best it would seem.
Yeah, you talked about preparation. I always thought one of the funniest things is Hamels takes the 2-2 and bounces it to Eckstein in a nice play. They're 2 away. Harry had the smallest handwriting I've ever seen, and I don't know how he even read all of the things that he would write on his scorecard. You know, that's big for Harry.
Yeah.
He used to hand me notes, and I'd be like, Harry, I can't see this.
And with a pencil.
And he said, what do you mean you can't see that? That's so-and-so. And I was like, I can't make that out.
Oh, boy.
Here's Jimmy Rollins with 2 away. Rollins tonight is 1 for 3. Jimmy singled in the first inning and was part of a 5-run first for the Phillies. They lead at 7-3 now here in the bottom of the 5th. Good fastball that is right down the middle of the plate. They count 1-1.
Two-seamer as it was running a little bit away from him. Good pitch to be able to hit, but when you're not swinging the bat well, you're a little bit hesitant on some of your pitches.
Well, Rollins hits this one the opposite way. This is going to be a tough play if it's a fair ball, and it's a foul ball. Nice play by that fan there.
That pitch there a little bit more inside. That's a little different than just seeing it and hitting it, especially with a pitcher that you haven't seen before. Don't know the movement on the ball and whether or not he has really a good changeup. You can read all the reports that you want, but when you get between the lines, it's a little bit different.
Well, that might be one of the reasons why the Padres bullpen has been so good to start this year, because a lot of teams don't really know what they're throwing. I mean, with the exception of Heath Bell and Juaner Sanchez and Clay Meredith, the rest of these guys are guys that they probably don't even know.
No, and that's why, again, you do try and ask, well, what is his toughest pitch? And then once he gets out there and he starts to pitch, well, you're looking at him warm up. If he's bouncing his curveball, can't get over the off-speed stuff, you eliminate that. Look for that fastball.
2-2 popped up. Third base side. Should be easy play for Kuzminov, and it is. An easy inning for Perdomo. 1-2-3 go the Phillies, hanging on to a 4-run lead. Philly of the week is Jason Worth. Just over a week into the season, the weather still remains chilly, but his bat is definitely heating up. After a 4-hit game to start off the road trip in Denver, he continued to deliver in each game in the series. The hits and production just keep coming, while he is delivered in the field as well. And it is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Well, there is Jason Worth, and he and the Phillies have had a good night offensively, as they've banged out 9 base hits, and they lead it by 4, 7-3. A gorgeous night here in Philadelphia. On a tough night for a lot of the fans with all the ceremonies prior to the start of the ball game, as they continue to mourn the passing of Harry Kalas, the Fanatic. Didn't do a dance in between innings. You know, there was a video tribute of Harry that was up on the board, as that ball is popped up foul behind home plate, and the count is 0-1.
And caught by a fan. Anytime you hear the cheers, you know it's caught. If he drops it, they'll let you know.
This is Chase Headley, who is 1 for 2. He's grounded out to third. He's also singled. Good change up there by Cole Hamels. It's 0-2.
You can tell how great it was. That one at 77, but hitter was so off balance. A lot of times that's how you can tell whether or not a pitcher has good stuff. Those hitters are off balance.
Came back with a fastball at 90. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, it's been a busy day in baseball. And how about Ryan Braun has wiped away a 2-run deficit and given the Brewers a 4-3 lead over the Mets in the top of the 6th inning. Ivan Hernandez pitching in that ball game for the Mets. Pitched well in his first game. 1-2 the count now to Chase Headley.
Hernandez throws a lot of breaking balls, knows how to pitch, in and out, up and down. See Cole just nice and relaxed when he's out there throwing. And again, when he does give up a homer or pitch in a bad location, you can just about tell because he grimaces like, wow, why did I throw that one?
There's a line drive caught by Jimmy Rollins. It's nice to have those ups, huh?
Well, it sure is. He has played a little basketball as he has those pants up there a little bit. You know, again, even though Jimmy isn't hitting the way that he would like, doesn't let that interfere with his defense. He's starting to get that look in his eye that he's starting to get a little irritated as he gets up. A little hang time. That's when we're able to do that finger roll in that basketball court. You know what that's about, don't you?
I have never,
those ups?
ever gotten up that high on a basketball court.
Oh, man, a lot. You're going to have to bring a ladder out there then for you.
Yeah, I might trip over it. 0-1 the count to Kuzminov was 0 for 2. On the hands, looper toward the middle. Chase Utley, and it goes under his glove. And Kuzminov is going to have a base hit. Well, speaking of those Milwaukee Brewers who we talked about with Ryan Braun giving them a 4-3 lead, they'll be in town beginning Tuesday at 7:05, Wednesday at 7:05, and then Thursday at 1:05, a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. You can order your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. So Kuzminov is aboard.
Now that was a good pitch by Cole. It got right in on the hands. Ball not hit hard, but good things happen when that ball is going up the middle. Be surprised at how many hits you can get.
Here's Nick Hundley. Takes a fastball for a strike. See, here we are, Sarge, in the top of the 6th, and that fastball's at 90 miles an hour, so that should answer questions, right?
Yeah, and more importantly, where that location is. That's some paint on the outside part of the plate.
Again, a fastball at 89 this time, and he's ahead 0-2.
This is where he doesn't want to get hurt. You know, again, sometimes you can throw too many strikes. You want to make sure that, again, the hitter is off balance, that you can kind of mix him up or try and get him to swing at your pitch. Looks like he wants that change up there.
And he got it, but it was down and away. Charlie Manuel said after the last start by Cole Hamels that, you know, he wasn't sure if Cole would make his next start, which was scheduled to be in Washington. You know, a couple days later, he got to backtrack because, you know, Cole had thrown a bullpen and was fine. That one's hit in the air to deep left field. Ibanez has been busy going back, and that one is gone. 2-run home run for Nick Hundley. And this Phillies lead, which was at 6, is now down to 2 here at the top of the 6th inning. I'll tell you, he's just cruising along.
Yeah.
It's just stunning when he gives up a long ball like that.
Well, you know, that one seemed not to be a bad pitch. Maybe you got to give Hundley a little bit of credit. You can see right where the ball is. I don't know, almost kind of middle in, up maybe a little bit. Nevertheless, he got good wood on it.
All of the runs tonight for the Padres have come on home runs. As Rodriguez tries to reach on a bunt, but Hamels, a good fielder, takes care of him. 2 away. And the Phillies pitching staff has given up now 24 home runs in 9 games. That's a lot of home runs.
A lot of bombs being hit. See Huntley giving 5s all around. Ball's carrying tonight, Tom. You can tell.
Yep.
Weather getting warmer. Weather starts to get warmer here. The ball starts to carry just a little bit more.
Here's Edgar Gonzalez, Adrian Gonzalez's older brother, pinch hitting, cues it to second base. Utley battling the spin, throws him out on 1 pitch, and the inning is over. But the Padres draw closer. They are down by 2. Shane Victorino hoping to change things as we go to the bottom of the 6th. W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason for amazingly low office product prices. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. By McDonald's. Introducing McDonald's McCafe coffees. Try hot or cold, iced mochas, lattes, and cappuccinos. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by your local Chevy dealers. Phillies led at 7-1 at one point, but now as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, their lead is down to 2. Now the new pitcher for the Padres will be right-hander Luke Gregerson. This is already his 6th game. He's a rookie. His ERA at 3.00. He has walked 4 in 6 innings of work, but those 4 walks, a bunch of them came in 1 outing. He's done a nice job holding the opposition to just a 158 batting average. And he will face 2, 3, and 4 for the Phillies here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Padres have 1 extra pitcher coming out of their bullpen compared to most teams, which means that they have 1 less bench player. Gregerson now the 3rd pitcher used in tonight's ballgame. So here's Victorino. He scored twice tonight. He's got a couple stolen bases, 2 hits, and he takes a fastball inside and low, and it's 1-0. Phillies with 7 runs on 9 hits. The Padres with 5 runs on 8 base hits. Good sinker at the knees, and it's 1-1. I think some of the issues that Shane had in the first few games of the season, they've kind of been answered with a few good ball games. I know his batting average is just at 257, but it looks like he's starting to come around a little bit.
Well, starting to see the ball a lot better. You know, again, you do have to have a certain amount of advance and be able to look at balls in spring training to get your timing, get your hands tough.
That one's chopped towards second. Eckstein backs up. Ball nearly ate him up, but he's able to make the play, and there's 1 away.
One of those gutty players, though. Eckstein gives you all he has. When you look at him, if you're a scout, you want to sign this guy, you say, well, he has no tools. But what he has is a big heart that overcomes that, and that's why he's been an all-star player. Been a great player, too, in the World Series. You can see him come on in and trying to get guys to come here, there. Where do you want me to play?
David Eckstein, I got to know him when he was in Trenton with the Red Sox in Double-A. He was a second baseman at that time. He was moved to shortstop with the Angels because Adam Kennedy was playing second base. And right now he's trying to figure out where he's supposed to play, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, trying to say, well, you want me to play pull up the middle?
You know what I think he's trying to do? He's trying to see if they want Luis Rodriguez, the shortstop, to come onto the second base side of the diamond. That's where Eckstein is playing, a step or two on the outfield grass. And there's Rodriguez, the shortstop. A lot of times we've seen teams play that shortstop over behind second base or even on the other side of second base.
Yeah, well, they have the charts, and they'll have a player that has been up 50 to 100 times or so, and they'll chart out where they hit certain pitches, and then very simple. The majority of the time, wherever he's been hitting them, that's where they'll play. Although that first time up, doesn't matter where they play.
Nope, that one hit the opposite way, fairly deep as Headley goes back, but he's got room. Well, they're 2 away. He misjudged a fly ball earlier. That time he was able to get under it, get to the spot.
You know, to his defense too, though, that ball when it gets into left center, it really starts to kind of get pushed out. You can see Eckstein now doing a little talking.
With Rodriguez probably saying, you know, I thought we were supposed to play with a drastic overshift with Utley and Howard at the plate. And that's where they'll set up with 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. I think that's what Eckstein thought the defensive alignment should have been with Utley. Howard, an RBI double his last time up. That RBI for Ryan is 8th of the year. That was the last run the Phillies scored. It came in that 4th. He's off a pitch that hits the outside corner at 91 miles an hour.
It's a tough pitch. Tough pitch to hit, ball down in a way. Just hope that you don't get that third call strike for pitches that way.
Breaking ball pulled foul, so 2 balls and 2 strikes the count.
And we're just out in front of that little slide piece. That's where that slider gets you. Looks like a fastball, then it kind of darts back away. You can tell a good slider because you'll see a dot when you're up at that batter's box.
Swing and a miss, and that is a slider from Gregerson, and Ryan Howard is down on strikes for the 3rd time in this ball game. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. We've played 6. We'll say so long to Sarge, and we'll come back Chris Wheeler as we go to the 7th. A whole lot of storylines involved in that. Recap of tonight's festivities here at the ballpark. Citizens Bank Park is the site here in South Philadelphia. Time now for our Verizon Wireless game summary. Phillies jumped out to a 5-0 lead in the first thanks to a 3-run home run by Chase Utley. Chris Coast had a 2-run double as well. They lead at 7-5. Chris Young, the starter for the Padres, lasted just 3 2/3. He allowed 7 runs and 9 hits, and now Cole Hamels' night is done. Clay Condrey, the new pitcher, and on one pitch, he's going to retire Hairston on a fine play by Ryan Howard, the big man, scooping it up. And man, Hairston can flat out fly. See, Condrey got off the mound quickly. He threw a sinker right at Ryan Howard. Whoop. I'll tell you, Ryan Howard has done a nice job this year defensively. I know that there was always a lot of criticism of his defense, but he has made some fabulous defensive plays at first base.
Well, and give him credit and give Sam Perlaza credit.
Yep.
The two of them worked so hard in spring training. Even before spring training, they worked on that.
And Ryan, a lot of that was because he dropped about 25 pounds during the offseason. He feels like he's a little quicker around the bag at first base. But I think he's also playing defense with a little more confidence as well. And it could be because of all the work, as Will said, that he and Sam Perlaza did during spring training, just to put his hands in a different spot and to be more comfortable with one hand. There's Sammy. 1-2 the count.
Well, the thing about Ryan Howard is he's a good athlete. He can improve in some areas. Everybody knows he can hit. Guy was a heck of a basketball player when he was a kid, so he can do a lot of different things. Plus, he was a great trombone player, whatever he was.
Does that help at first base?
I don't know. It helps your hand and eye coordination, maybe.
I guess so.
Hand-lip coordination.
Doesn't help everybody's ears in your house, though.
I'm trying to think, what is that instrument he played? It was some big old horn.
2-2 hit back toward the middle, and Eckstein has his second base hit of the night.
I think you can see why San Diego is off to such a good start, because they were buried before a big, tough, loud crowd here tonight, and they're staying right after the Phillies.
Well, they're into the Phillies bullpen, as we mentioned. Condrey in his 6th ball game. 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA, and those 2 batters that he faced may be the only 2 batters that he gets to face, because Charlie Manuel's going out to the mound, and Big Chuck just waved to the bullpen. He wants the left-hander. That's because Giles and Gonzalez are due up, so Clay Condrey's night has been brief here at Citizens Bank Park. And Scott Air will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. And he's got the tough task of facing Brian Giles and Adrian Gonzalez when we return. First to the 23rd. And a reminder that the 21st at 7:05, all fans receive a free World Champions commemorative ring keychain. Compliments of McDonald's. You can order your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. Also, the final game of that series, the 23rd, that is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. It is a 1:05 start here at the ballpark. Brewers right now are leading the Mets 4-3 in the 6th inning. Here, the Phillies are winning it 7-5, and they'll turn to Scott Air. The lefty comes on to face Brian Giles with one away and a runner on first base. 4th game of the year for Air. He struggled a little bit during spring training, but he's kind of found a little bit of a rhythm here during the regular season. Giles 1 for 3. And he's ahead 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, it's a part of the game where you win or lose with the way baseball's played nowadays. 7th, 8th, 9th with your matchups. And he's trying to get through this inning with Air with these left-handed hitters, and then use Madsen in the 8th and Lids in the 9th. Win the ball game. See if they can get it done.
1-0 outside, 2-0. Hey, just to remind everybody, we are going to stay here at Citizens Bank Park when the final out of this top of the 7th inning is recorded, because they are going to have a rendition of High Hopes, Harry's favorite song, that is going to be played here at the ballpark. 3-0 the count to Giles.
This guy won't swing. You know, Brian Giles has a great eye. He doesn't hit Air anyway, so he's just going to stand there and wait for him to throw him a strike.
There is a strike, so it's 3-1. Padres tried to trade Brian Giles last year to the Boston Red Sox, but he had a no-trade clause, and he said, I'm going to stay in Southern California. And now the count is full, 3-2.
That pitch is outside. And, you know, he has a great eye, and he knew that was a ball. And he's from Southern California, so he didn't look at the multiple 100 walk seasons for this guy.
From tennis with 3. Eckstein doesn't go. 3-2. Bounced on the ground to first. Howard has it. He's going to go to second. He's got one over to first. Not in time.
Well, it just took a little bit too long. You know, we're talking about Ryan Howard is improving, and he is, because he made an accurate throw. Last year, that ball's in left field. But watch what happens here. It just takes a little long for the play to unwind. He gets it. Now the throw leads Jimmy a little bit away from the bag. Giles hustles down the line. It just tailed a little bit, the throw. He did a good job with it. You know, I mean, compared to the way Brian used to struggle with that, he did an excellent job.
2 away. Gonzalez, the batter, takes one outside. Yeah, in fact, when he let it go, I would think that most fans kind of held their breath a little bit, because he had so much trouble last year with those throws.
Not just fans.
Yeah.
But he does. He's much better at that now.
Two 2-0 the count to Gonzalez. Ryan will probably never be like this guy at first base. He won a Gold Glove last year, but he has said that he doesn't want to be a DH, that he wants to play.
Well, the way he's improved his defense this year, you know, he's showing it. Charlie talks about him all the time, how hard a worker he is. You know, you don't hear a lot from Ryan Howard, but he is prepared, and the manager says he works as hard as anybody has.
Two and 1 the count to Adrian Gonzalez. Takes a fastball for a strike. It's 2-2. I remember last week when the Phillies had the off day after opening day against the Braves. Charlie was in taping his television show, and you know, there were a couple players that were here. One of those guys was Ryan Howard on the off day. Now he was working on his offense because he was hitless in that opener. Gonzalez stays alive.
This guy's a tough out. Adrian Gonzalez is one of those quiet, really, really good players. A lot of power to all fields, Gold Glove first baseman.
Well, I did the Caribbean World Series this year, and he had led his team, his Mexico team, into the finals. And boy, the World Series was in Mexico, and the reaction that he gets as a Mexican American, he's a hero. I mean, it's not too many players that can supersede Vinny Castilla in the minds of the folks from Mexico, but this guy is pretty close. Eckstein's going to be off. He's not being held on. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout for Scott Air as he works out of a little difficult spot here at the top of the 7th inning. He got two good hitters, Giles and Adrian, Gonzalez. Well, the Padres are retired here in the 7th, and as we mentioned, we will stay here at Citizens Bank Park because one of Harry's favorite songs throughout his lifetime was High Hopes. So in the honor of Harry, we're going to listen to a little High Hopes.
One thing you have to remember is when you are down, lift your head off the ground. There's a lot to be learned. So look around. Once there was a silly old man, thought he'd move a rubber tree plant. Anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he had high hopes. He had high hopes. He had high apple pie in the sky. So when you start to feel alone, said I'd let them, just remember that ant. Hope there goes another rubber tree. Up there goes another rubber tree. Up there goes another rubber tree.
How many times do you think you've heard him sing that song, Wheels?
Well, you know, the thing about it was there was always a second verse. I used to tell when we were out at night, I'd tell everybody, relax, it's not over yet. And he'd sing another verse.
Well, that was one verse of High Hopes, and the crowd here at Citizens Bank Park on their feet. A standing ovation for the legend that was and will always be Harry Kalas. Well, I'll tell you, it just gives you some chills. It really does. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning with a whole lot of emotions flowing through this ballpark. And Raul Ibanez will lead things off for the Phillies. It's 7-5 in favor of the Phils. It'll be Ibanez, followed by Jason Worth and Pedro Feliz. You know, there are a lot of folks that are hoping that, like some of the other ballparks around the country, in Boston and in Chicago, they have songs that are played during the course of a game that song may stick here at Citizens Bank Park. Clay Meredith is the new pitcher for the San Diego Padres. He'll take over for Luke Gregerson. All the changes the Padres have had to their bullpen, this is one of the similarities to last year, is Clay Meredith. That one's pulled on the ground. Eckstein has it go off his glove, and Raul Ibanez is going to have his second base hit of the night. He's been on base all 4 times in tonight's ball game. Well, it's time now for our Dodge Stump the Fans trivia quiz. Answer. On September 11th, 1977, the Padres were victimized by a rare triple steal in a 7-3 loss in Atlanta. Who were the 3 Braves base runners? Come on, we got to think of really fast guys, Wheels.
Oh,
So.
How about Ralph Garr being one of them?
Nope. How about Gary Matthews being one of them?
Well, I wouldn't have thought of that.
How about Biff Pocoroba?
They're not fast. What are you talking about?
How about Pat Rocket?
Pat Rocket is a shortstop. Biff Pocoroba was a catcher.
Yes, he was. What are you saying? Sarge wasn't fast?
Sarge wasn't fast, but he was aggressive.
Well, log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Biff Pocoroba, give me a break.
I used to love that trading card when I was a kid. You know, you used to get, when you collected trading cards, there used to be guys that you'd always get in every pack.
Biff was what?
Biff Pocoroba in a Braves uniform was a card that was always in your pack.
Switch hitting catcher. Pat Rocket, I always thought that was a great name.
0-2 pitch to Worth. He stays alive.
He used to get that. Pocoroba used to be one of Harry's alliteration guys.
Biff Pocoroba.
His favorite, well, I shouldn't say his favorite, but one of his all-time favorite was a guy pitched for the Pirates named, and he could go, Cecilio Guante. That was one of his all-timers.
It's got to be the first name. That's the reason that was one of his all-time favorites.
Couldn't wait for that guy to get up in the bullpen.
0-2 pitch to Worth. Hit on the ground. The shortstop should be 2. Rodriguez to second for 1. It's an easy double play. And there are 2 away here at the bottom of the 7th.
Well, this is Clay Meredith. He's like Gregerson, the guy they just had in. Well, as you said, Tom, we've seen Meredith a lot. He is a sinker ball pitcher. He just throws sinker after sinker, and 2 hitters, 2 ground balls. And he relies on his infielders to make the plays for him.
Well, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Madsen, of course, Ryan Madsen up. Scott Air did his job. What a great job. Clay Condrey got the 1 out, and then Scott came in and got the left-handed hitters out after going, what, 3-0 on Giles?
Yep, 3-0. And Giles got that borderline strike to make it 3-2.
And that's Scott's job, and he knows that. If he can come in and get those left-handed hitters out and get them to Madsen right there and then Lidge, they think they have a chance to win the game, and that's where they are tonight.
Hit back toward the middle, right past Meredith and into center field. Pedro Feliz has his 2nd hit of the night. And Meredith's going to be kicking himself because that one was hit right back to the box.
Yeah, well, it won't hit that hard either. It fooled him. You know, that happens to pitchers a lot because, you know, here comes see his reaction. He is upset at himself. The ball comes back at you, and it's really hard to judge the speed a lot of times because it happens so fast. But sinker ball pitchers need to be good fielders because they pitch away, and here it comes right back at him, and he just misjudged it. It wasn't hit that hard.
There's Coast now the batter with 2 away. Coast takes a fastball for a strike. Chris has had a good day. Got a couple of doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 for 3. Chopper back to the box. This time Meredith takes control of it, and the Phillies are retired here in the 7th inning. They strand 1. We have completed 7 here in Philadelphia. Phillies lead it 7-5, and here comes Ryan Madsen. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. And by Chrysler. Employee Pricing Plus is now in its final month at your Chrysler dealer. Everyone gets our employee price plus generous cash allowances. Top of the 8th inning with the Phillies leading it by 2. It means only one thing in this day and age. Ryan Madsen is going to come into the game. Madsen in his 5th ball game, 1-0, 0.00 ERA. No walks, 5 strikeouts. He has not allowed a base hit so far in this ball game or this season. And he has done a wonderful job setting up Brad Lidge, carrying over from the second half of last season and into the first couple weeks of this season. And he'll face Chase Headley, Kevin Kuzminoff, and Nick Hundley for the Padres. Headley is 1 for 3 in this ball game. He's grounded out. He's lined out. He's also had a single. And he rips this one through the hole on the right side, and he's got a second base hit of the night. And that's the first hit allowed this year by Matson. Hey, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. That's right. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank, the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. These folks will go away with a free T-shirt, lucky gift bag, and hopefully going to go away with a Phillies victory too. Ryan Matson's allowed his first base hit, and now he has to deal with Kevin Kuzminoff, the number 6 batter in this Padres lineup. Kuzminoff gets a piece of that, which gets a piece of Chris Coast's mask. Chris does a little adjusting.
You can always tell those guys that wear those kind of masks because that makes a different sound.
Yeah, I was surprised to read how that mask now is mandatory, Wheels, with the younger kids in Little League and in Babe Ruth, and I think even in high school now. 1-1 the count.
I guess it does afford more protection.
Yeah, particularly on the backswing.
Yeah, some guys just don't like it because it's too hot and heavy. So they wear the more conventional one, like Laz Diaz, for example.
Yeah, Laz Diaz, like every umpire, just wears or most umpires, wears the normal mask without the helmet. And Kuzminoff sends one in the air way down the left field line, foul. That's going to venture into a spot that doesn't often get foul balls. Right up there in the Hall of Fame club. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Mets have tied up the Brewers on a solo home run by Gary Sheffield, his first. And I believe that is career home run number 500 for Gary Sheffield. 2-2 the count to Kuzminoff. It's one of the things that surprised Sheffield, that the Tigers would let him go. He said, "You're going to let me go, and I'm only one home run away from 500.
Phillies have Feliz guarding the line, big hole on the left side.
That one shot the opposite way, foul.
Trying to stay away from any kind of an extra base hit in a 2-run game here, and they'll give up the hit in the hole. You see that side more conventional, but now you go towards third base and you see he's over here guarding the line.
Little cue shot up the first baseline. They're going to get just one out here, and it's going to be at first. So Kuzminoff is retired. Up to second base goes Headley. And there's one away. Every time you say the name Headley, you think of Dave Hollins.
You do.
You do a lot of that. You chuckle a little bit. Dave Hollins, of course, the former Phillies third baseman, who is now a scout in the Major League Baseball ranks. So one out here in the top of the 8th inning. Runner on second. Phils, who led it by 6, lead it by 2. And Nick Hundley, the batter. Hundley homered his last time up. It was a 2-run shot. And he was fooled on that pitch at 91 miles an hour. I don't know if he was thinking there was going to be a changeup, but I don't think he was thinking fastball on the outside part of the plate on that one. There's a changeup hit in the air way up there in left field, not deep. Ibanez puts it away, and there are 2 outs. A reminder, this game will encore tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. And that will be following the ceremonies that will take place here at the ballpark. Comcast Sportsnet will go live. Michael Barkan, Leslie Goodell, beginning at noon tomorrow on Comcast Sportsnet. And for all fans, the gates will open tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for your opportunity to walk past Harry's casket, which will be set up behind home plate. What a tremendous honor for a great man. We mentioned this earlier this week. The only other time in baseball history that a casket has been laid to rest at a ballpark. The day of the game was when Babe Ruth was honored at Old Yankee Stadium. Luis Rodriguez, the batter, and he takes a pitch outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Rodriguez, a switch hitter who homered from the right side of the plate his first time up.
Jody Garrett waiting on deck. They have a short bench. They're more stocked with pitchers out of the bullpen, so they don't have a whole lot of moves, and they've used one already.
Well, and one of the other guys they have besides Jody Garrett is Henry Blanco, their backup catcher, and Everett Cabrera, Rule 5 selection. As you see, Juan Sanchez and Edward Mojica loosening up in the pen. Bud Black is not available to pinch hit, even though he had the bat in his hand.
And he was a pitcher anyway.
Yeah, but they always think they can hit. 3-1 the count. Now our right-hander knew he couldn't hit. Larry Anderson.
Yeah, that was sad. It was just so ugly to watch.
That 3-1 is a fastball for a strike. Rodriguez thought it was a ball high, and it's 3-2. But Black thought that pitch was high as well.
Oh, the catcher pulls it down, so's the catcher.
Which is what Chris Coast did. So 3-2 the count to Rodriguez. Matson trying to get out of this 8th inning, setting things up for Brad Lidge. The Phillies lead it by 2. Tying run at the plate. The payoff pitch. Change up a little high, ball 4, and Rodriguez wins the battle. And now you got a guy that has some pop in Jody Garrett that is going to come up to pinch hit. And Charlie Manuel sent Rich Doobie out to the mound. He's perfectly content with Ryan Matson on the hill.
Well, they want to talk about Jody Garrett right now because he is, as Tom said, he has power. Charlie knows him really well. He was with the Indians for a number of years, and you know they know how they want to pitch him. Matson's basically going to throw 2 pitches: fastball, changeup.
So that conversation is a scouting report from Rich Doobie. And Garrett really had a good year last year. He hit .296, had 14 home runs and 43 RBIs for the Padres. Originally the property of the Cleveland Indians, as Wheels alluded to, and known well by Charlie Manuel. Also spent some time with the Cubs and the Pirates.
Led off the game in Citi Field the other night, the first game in Mets history in that new ballpark, and went deep.
Yeah, I think it was on the 3rd pitch of that ball game. So Garrett did not start tonight because the left-hander Cole Hamels was on the hill. Batting here with 2 runners on. The tying run is on first base in a 7-5 game. We're going to start him off outside. Here's the pitch. Change up, pulled on the ground into right field, a base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Headley. The throw by Jason Worth skips to the plate, and Headley's going to score, and it's a 1-run game. Jason Worth did everything right, but just didn't have a whole lot on that throw. And that's the first run allowed by Ryan Matson this season.
Whether he slipped or what happened with that, but as you said, there was nothing on it. Padres really feel like they can win some ball games. They are hot here early in the year. That's a first pitch changeup, and he hits it hard. Let's see what happens with Worth. Comes up throwing. I don't know. Didn't slip. He just didn't get anything on it. Then it hit the cutout and went straight down. You know what it was? You watch that again in the exchange. He didn't have an exchange. I don't think he had a grip on it.
I agree with that.
The exchange was awkward.
So it's a 1-run game, and now the tying run is on third with a runner on first that Matson has to deal with, and Scott Hairston, the batter. Hairston rips one down the left field line, and this baby's going to be tied up. It might even be a Padres lead. 1 run scores. Garrett being waved home. Rollins' throw to the plate is late, and the Padres have come back from 6 runs to take an 8-7 lead. And Scott Hairston has his 3rd hit of the night.
This guy loves to swing early in the count. Matson threw a changeup, it looked like, and it tailed right back into his happy zone. And Garrett rolling hard with 2 outs, scores easily.
Good slide on the backside of home plate. And Hairston now with 4 RBIs in the game. 2 doubles, a home run.
Well, the Phillies scored early, and the Padres are scoring late. They've had 2, 2, and 3 now.
So Cole Hamels cannot win his first game of the year. The Phillies are going to have to come from behind in their last 2 at bats. David Eckstein at the plate. Eckstein pops one up foul toward the Hall of Fame club. And the count 0-1. Eckstein is 2 for 3 with a sacrifice. Chopper foul past Glenn Hoffman in the third base coach's box. Nice play by a fan. Brought his glove to the game. And it's 0-2. The first 4 games of the year, Matson had been so good.
Made some mistakes with changeups in this inning. They've been up and they've hit them.
Roller to third. This should be the inning. It is, but the damage is done. The Padres with 3 runs here in the top of the 8th inning. They've come all the way back. And now Ryan Matson and the Phils are going to have to play from behind against Scott Hairston and the Padres. '27th through the 29th, and don't forget Tuesday the 28th, it's the Charlie Manuel Bobble figurine, compliments of Toyota. Great giveaway. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. Well, Duaner Sanchez is the new pitcher for the San Diego Padres in his 5th ball game. He was released during spring training by the New York Mets, and he'll come on here to pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning. Try to pick things up for Clay Meredith, who right now is the pitcher of record on the winning side for the Padres. The Phillies are going to have to come from behind in a game in which they led by 6 at one point.
3rd straight game, they've given up 8 runs too. There's 2 games in Washington, and now this one. That's, you know, the pitching's just struggling a little bit right now.
Greg Dobbs, who's 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter, will lead things off as a pinch hitter for Ryan Matson. Dobbs spent a lot of time yesterday taking some early batting practice in Washington. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back.
Duaner Sanchez, a guy that his changeup is probably his best pitch, and he'll throw it any time. He used to throw pretty hard. I don't think he probably right now around what, high 80s, around 90.
Yeah, there's not as much separation between that fastball and that changeup anymore.
Got a lot of rosin on that hat.
Sure does. 0-1 hit toward the gap in left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Greg Dobbs has his first base hit of the year, first pinch hit after setting a record for pinch hits of the season last year in a Phillies uniform. He's aboard to start off this 8th inning.
And then it was a changeup.
Juan Sanchez was part of that Mets bullpen last year, and he ran into some problems here at Citizens Bank Park. And there were a lot of pitchers last year, whether it be in the month of September or in the postseason, that just did not like the sound here at this ballpark. It just got to them.
And you see how Juan Sanchez likes to go to that cap and get that rosin.
Jimmy Rollins lays down a bunt. He bunts it toward third. A little miscommunication. Kuzminoff, though, has it. And Rollins is going to be credited with a sacrifice. Now, when there's that much rosin, as Jimmy gets a nice round of applause as he goes to the dugout because he moved Dobbs the tying run up to second base.
I guess it's just easier than going to the rosin bag all the time.
I remember Julian Tavares used to have all that rosin on his hat. There were many occasions where an opposing pitcher or opposing manager would say, "Hey, Mr. Umpire, can you check that hat for some pine tar or something?" So the tying run is on second base. Shane Victorino, the batter. Victorino has had a good night. He's 2 for 4. He has scored a couple of runs. He's also stolen 2 bases.
They were playing him to pull in the first pitch, and now they're moving the center fielder over towards left center.
And the ball is popped behind third. This would be a tough play for Kuzminoff, and Rodriguez, the shortstop, and he got there. And there are 2 away. Shane's had a couple of very good at-bats these last few games, and that probably was one that he would love to have back. As Dobbs remains at second, and Victorino is frustrated going back to the dugout.
Nice play. It's a much easier play for the shortstop than the third baseman. See the shortstop Gonzalez come over and make sure that he runs him off, and then they were looking to see who was covering third, and Sanchez was over there.
So still that tying runs on second. Now Chase Utley, the batter, 1 for 10 lifetime against Juan Sanchez. He homered his first time up, a 3-run shot, and all looked like it was right in the world for the Phillies. They led it 5-0 after 1.
Yeah, here it is. Chris Young really having trouble with his fastball early in the game. Middle in on that one. Second deck home run. One of the few games that they've jumped out to a lead. That's what they've been hoping they could do, jump out to a lead, ride it to a win. They had a 7-1 lead at one time.
Now they trail at 8-7. Utley shoots it the opposite way. That's a base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Dobbs. Here's the throw by Headley on one hop, and the catcher blocks the plate, and Dobbs is thrown out trying to score. A very good block by Nick Hundley, the catcher, off a good throw from Chase Headley. And the Phillies, in an attempt to try to tie this game, watch the 8th inning come to a close. The Flyers game 2. That one, by the way, is going into overtime. Tied at 2. Derek Gunn investigates the cornerbacks in this year's draft class for the Eagles, and the Phillies pay tribute to Harry the K on Sports Night tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. So the Eagles apparently acquired a new offensive lineman from the Bills. Nick Peters, who is a Pro Bowler, and that should shore up the left side of their offensive line. Brad Lidge, who certainly shored up this Phillies bullpen last year on in a non-save situation, but he's trying to preserve what has turned out to be a one-run deficit, make sure that this game remains in reach going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Phillies tried to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th on a base hit by Chase Utley, but Greg Dobbs was thrown out trying to score from second base, and although there were 2 outs, I didn't think, Wheels, that he got a great jump off second base.
I really couldn't tell, you know, with 2 outs, unless he thought the ball was going to hit him. You know, obviously go in contact, so, you know, I don't know. But the catcher, as you said, Hundley did a heck of a job taking that shin guard out.
Ryan Giles, the batter, and he pulls one down the right field line. It's deep, hooking toward the pole. It is a foul ball. Boy, they have been swinging at a lot of first pitches.
Yep. And Giles hardly ever swings at a first pitch. He's a guy who walks so much and works the count. So I think pitchers feel they can throw a first ball fastball and get ahead of him a lot of times.
By the way, Wheels, I have to correct myself. I was trying to dip into the NFL.
Yeah.
Jason Peters, not Nick Peters. But he is an offensive lineman who plays on the left side.
Well, you got most of it right.
Yeah.
That was one of Whitey's things. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. Here it is. Yeah.
Well, slight hesitation.
Yeah, there was a slight hesitation, and I don't know if the ball was near him or not. You know, he couldn't tell on that. That's the only thing I could think is he thought it was going to hit him. But that Hundley made some play at home plate. That was a good throw by Headley from left field.
Yeah,
one hopper.
We talked about Headley and his struggles.
Let's see if the ball comes close to hitting him. Well,
still went in that direction. Maybe that's why he flinched a little bit.
Just flinched a little. But a great job by the catcher at home plate.
2-2 the count now to Brian Giles to start off the top of the 9th inning in an 8-7 Padres lead.
And Hundley is no relation to the other Hundleys.
No, not to Randy or Todd. Another pull shot foul right past Jim Lefevre.
I think the
coach's box.
Manager hates to use his closer in this spot, but as you said, he wants to keep it to 1. Plus, he hasn't pitched since Monday.
Right, he was loosening up in the pen, and he was cooking. There's David Eckstein. Check swing. Did he go? Well, he may have gotten a piece of it. And the count holds 2-2.
So get that Heath Bell up there in the bullpen. He's 5 for 5 in saves. One of the reasons why they've been so successful this year.
That one sliced toward the gap in left center. Nice play by Victorino to cut it off. He's going to hold Giles to a single to lead off this 9th inning. Brian Giles has his second base hit. That's the 13th hit for the Padres, who last year won just 63 games. They've won 7 of their first 10.
And they were a really bad offensive team last year. They played a tough offensive park, but they just couldn't hit. Poor run scoring team, and early in this season they're not.
Well, with tonight's total, they have scored 52 runs in the year, which is 6th best in the National League. And they finished the year at 15th in the National League. And Bud Black, who knows a whole lot about pitching, was scratching his head about his team's offense. One guy who had a good year is the guy at the plate. Adrian Gonzalez has the count 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez working on back-to-back 30 home run seasons. Good pitch by Lidge there. Slider at 84. And it's 1-2. The bottom of the ninth inning, the Phillies will have Ryan Howard, Raul Ibanez, and Jason Worth to bat.
And they have Matt Stairs sitting around too, and you're going to have a real hard throwing right-hander coming into the game. So Stairs could factor in if you get to a point where you could pinch hit, where you want to pinch hit.
Chase Headley waits on deck with Adrian Gonzalez behind in the count 1-2. Runner on first. The pitch up high, 2-2. Well, the stagnant Padres offense had just 1 run and 3 hits through the first 4 innings. But then if you glance up at the line score, you see 2, 2, 0, and 3. So 7 runs on 10 hits since the 4th inning came to a close. And it remains 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Pirates have shut out the Braves 3-0. Pirates are riding high from that trade of getting Michael Doobie today from the Chicago White Sox. Paul Maholm got the win. He's 2-0. Braves coming off a rough series against the Florida Marlins. Another foul ball by Gonzalez. He's running up Brad Lidge's pitch count. This place had some buzz to it for the first 5 innings with the way the Phillies offense jumped out, but it has quieted down. Usually when Brad Lidge is in the game, Phillies trying to close out a win. 3-2 the count. Instead, they're trying to keep a win within reach as they trail at 8-7.
Lidge is such a strikeout pitcher. You wonder if they would start the base runner Giles now.
That young fan just nodded his head yes.
Yeah.
Giles with a short lead off first. He doesn't go. 3-2. Line to right. A base hit. Giles heading to second, thinking about third, but he'll hold up there. Good play by Worth to get that throw in quickly. Well, with nobody out, the Padres now with runners on first and second against Brad Lidge.
They're hitting it like they know what's coming right now in the last few innings. And, that was just a high breaking ball, it looked like, from Brad Lidge. And Gonzalez waited nicely on it. And they don't want him to go out here and labor too much. So you saw Rich Doobie get on the phone. I think he said Hap.
Oh, you're a lip reader, Wheels. Wow. Did you train for that at Penn State?
Wasn't that tough. I mean, there's only a few guys left. It looked like he went Hap.
Well, J. Happ is loosening it up. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. And the batter is Chase Headley. He takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
They came cheating up at the corners, Howard and Feliz, just in case Headley decided to bunt. But they like this matchup as opposed to, I guess, at least on that pitch, they liked it. He's going through the signs, Feliz, because they haven't given up yet the fact that he might bunt. But they'd rather go this way than go with a right-handed hitter against Lidge.
Well, Howard is back behind the bag at first. Feliz is even with the bag at third. Headley doesn't square, takes a pitch high. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now they're not even going to go through bunt plays with Pedro Feliz. After 2 pitches, no sign of a bunt.
This will be pitch number 18 for Lidge here in the top of the 9th inning. Way up high. It's 2-1. Now Lidge has a 5.40 ERA. Let's see if everybody could see it. Picks up the phone. That was fast too, Wheels.
Well,
We should maybe make that a segment.
Everybody has certain skills.
2-1 is on the outside corner. It's 2-2. So people have certain skills. Some people are in search of certain skills.
Some have none.
That may never change.
Yep.
Count is even now to Headley. Line drive past the dive of Chase Utley into right field. Giles is being held at third. Howard will cut off the throw. 3 straight hits now for the Padres, and they now have 14 hits in this ball game. And for Headley, that's his third.
They had the game where they wanted it, with a 2-run lead with the 2 most reliable relief pitchers, Madsen and Lidge. And as you would say, this is not going well.
It's not going well, Wheels.
Here's a look at it. He hits this ball hard. Utley dives to where he thinks he could glove it, but it doesn't cooperate. It jumped at the last second right over his glove.
And he was cheating in a little bit, too. So Chase will join everybody else on the mound. They're going to keep Brad Lidge in this ball game. Rich Doobie is out talking to Brad Lidge. Brad is still trying to find his rhythm. Now, he has done a nice job saving the games that he's been into, but he's given up some runs during those save opportunities.
Yeah, he's still riding that long perfect streak of saves. This, of course, not a save opportunity. So he's trailing in the ballgame when he comes into it. And sometimes the adrenaline rush isn't quite the same. But I'm sure they just felt he needed some work tonight. Now they, of course, have to play the infield all the way in.
So the infield is in, bases loaded, nobody out. Kevin Kuzminoff the batter. That one nearly hit him. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And it seems like it's not really the slider that is eluding Brad Lidge in the early part of the season. It is the command of the fastball.
Yeah, and his slider tonight is flat. It's kind of rolling up there, and they're hitting it.
Kuzminoff has grounded out twice. He has singled and scored a run. He's also gone down on strikes. Cole Hemmel started this game. He went the first 6. He scattered 8 hits and 5 runs over those 6 innings. Swing and a miss. He tied him up inside, and a good fastball, and it's 1-1. Try to go to the same spot this time. Kuzminoff laid off, and it's 2-1. Brad Lidge, who saved 41 games last year for the Phillies. He kicks and delivers the 2-1 pitch. On the hands, looper, foul territory. Howard gave it a try, but it wasn't hit high enough, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That'll cost him a bat.
Yeah, he is really trying to work him inside, and that one shadowed the bat for Kuzminoff. So he gets a new piece of wood and now heads back to the plate. Turned out to be a good trade for the Padres to get Kuzminoff from the Indians. Josh Barfield was traded for Kuzminoff a couple of years ago. Nick Hundley, the catcher for the Padres, waits on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Over behind first base. Into foul territory goes Howard. Trying for a basket catch. He makes the grab. Giles heads to the plate and then stops. The ball squirts away from Coast. Oh, boy, that's a heck of a play by Ryan Howard. He's looking like a big old receiver going back to make that grab.
We were talking a little bit earlier about how he is a good athlete, and he showed it there on that play. Not a lot of wind here tonight, and that certainly helped. Here you go again. But now he throws home, and there's nobody backing up Chris Coast, and he knows it. And look at Coast sell out right there. There's the catch. Now, nobody is behind Coast. And he knows it, and he's got to block that thing or runs are going to score.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't roll too far away from him. So the bases remain loaded. Here's Nick Hundley. The infield plays for 2, and Hundley waves at a slider, and it's 0-1.
Now they can move the infield back, as you said, the double play depth after getting that first out. Lidge is not a guy who throws a ton of double play balls because he's really a strikeout fly ball pitcher.
Another slide, 0-2. There are times when Brad Lidge just takes a glance at the hitter, and in his mind he figures, I can throw one slider after another, I can get him.
Well, it looks like the adrenaline is starting to rush a little bit with him right now, too, after that first out.
The adrenaline's rushing with everybody, it looks like. In a one-run game, the Phillies trail it. Brad Lidge trying to keep it at a one-run deficit. The 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, Coast does a nice job keeping it around the plate. Tried another slider, that one a little lower than the others.
That's a big thing about catching Brad Lidge. Ruiz did it so well last year, and Coast when he had a chance, and now it's Coast's job to block that slider in the dirt.
Swing and a miss. He got him. And there's out number 2.
They did a good job, Tom. Again, that short option. You know, Chris Coast is back there going, oh, man, this is murder. And watch this thing dive, and watch what Coast has to do to prevent it from bouncing away. Here it comes, and like, oh, all I can do is cup my body and just hope. Oh, man.
Boy, I didn't realize I didn't think it bounced that far in front of him.
Tough play.
They liked it.
Yeah.
That guy says, hold on 1 second, I got to cheer. Luis Rodriguez, the batter with the bases loaded. Pitch down low, it's 1-0.
It's like when the bases were loaded, nobody out. He started to treat it like it was a save.
Rodriguez homered his first time up. That was the first run for the Padres. At that point, it was 5-1. Phillies made it 7-1 after 4. And the Padres have scored 7 unanswered runs. 2-0 the count. Rodriguez is biting on that slider, although they haven't been the best of sliders.
Well, now he's in a fastball count. I mean, even Lidge, as much as he loves his slider, you would think he'd throw fastball here.
Well, he gets one on the ground to second. He should get out of this inning. Utley waits, throws to first in time to get Rodriguez. He went back to the fastball, and the adrenaline certainly was rushing for Brad Lidge. First, a fine play by Ryan Howard. He'll lead things off as we go to the ninth. And the Padres will turn things over to their closer. And he is the leader in saves in the National League. 5 saves and 5 opportunities. It's Heath Bell who takes over as the closer this year for the Padres from Trevor Hoffman, who had 554 career saves, including 30 last year. Fewest team games to 5 saves all time, and there's Heath Bell.
He's the quickest.
Yep, he's there with Goose Gossage. It took 12 games for Goose to get to 5 saves.
How about Mark Davis in 1989, the former Phillies #1 pick, had a great year with. It may have been the year he won the Cy Young.
We'll have to deal with Ryan Howard to start things off. Howard tonight is 1 for 4. He has struck out 3 times. Greg Dobbs, who was thrown out trying to score the potential tying run in the bottom of the 8th inning to end that inning, looks on. Heath Bell is the sixth pitcher used by Bud Black in this ball game. He's trying to hop over the 500 mark in the opener of this 4-game series against the Padres. Chris Young started for San Diego. He went 3 2/3. First pitch hit foul by Howard, and the count is 0-1.
Oh, is a hard throw. He'll throw fastball, slider, changeup. Started him with a breaking ball. Ryan 1 for 7 lifetime off him. But he loves his fastball. They're in a no doubles defense in the outfield. They're all deep.
Heath Bell's fastball will top off in the mid-90s. There was a time when he was with the Mets that his fastball would register at 97, 98.
Well, he's smaller than he used to be.
He's lost about 25 pounds. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit foul.
Another slider.
No, Ryan just isn't going to see many fastballs. He has adjusted for the most part this year. And maybe not tonight. It's the first time this year he has struck out 3 times in a game. One and 2 the count. There is a fastball, but it was nowhere near the strike zone. Heath Bell and Clay Meredith, the only holdovers for the Padres bullpen from a year ago. It's a bullpen whose ERA coming into this game was 2.40. Pretty good. 2 and 2 the count.
Bell picked up a save last night, and Delgado looked like he had about a 12 pitch at bat against him in the last. And the last at bat got caught out, and the pitch was probably high. So, you know, the Phillies are hoping maybe Bell's a little out of gas tonight. And he's throwing 95.
Now 2 and 2 to Ryan Howard. The pitch. Outside, ball 3.
3 straight fastballs all in the same spot, high and away.
Figure he's going to get another fastball here, don't you think?
That's a good point. You know, he started him out with sliders, and then he's wild with his fastball.
Slider, and he fouls it off.
I don't want to give in there.
It's obvious he's had better control of the slider anyway, in this, at least to start this inning. Rubbing up a new baseball.
The rally cap.
Again to 3-2. Swing and a miss. He went upstairs with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Howard strikes out for the 4th time.
He never threw him a strike with a fastball. See Ryan shaking his head because he knows he got himself out here. It's ball 4.
And he knew it as soon as he took the cut.
Tough pitch to handle too. Guy
Sure
throws
is.
it up there at 94, 95. It's really hard to get on top of that pitch, even a guy as good as Ryan Howard.
Well, Ibanez is now the batter as Howard looks on. He's been on base all 4 times, and that fastball gives Bell the edge in this at bat. 0-1. Ibanez is been able to lift his batting average to 343 with his 2-hit night, 2 walks, a couple runs scored. That was early on. 1-1 the count. Phils have not scored since the 4th. At that point, they had a 7-1 lead. Now they trail at 8-7. Chase Utley looking on. To it. Ooh. 1-2 the count.
I think you were right the first time.
He wants it down.
It's not a strike.
1-2 the count to Ibanez. That one shot the opposite way, foul. I would think that Bell is difficult for a hitter to pick up sometimes because he's got such a weird delivery to the plate.
He's kind of funky. He's got kind of a hump in his delivery, and he throws so hard. You were around him. You got to be around a guy. Figured if they have a closer's mentality.
Oh, he's got a closer's mentality.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because he certainly got the stuff to do it.
Yeah, he's a little hyper. Another fastball, and again, Ibanez stays alive. So it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Raul. He's combined for 15 runs and 28 hits.
My fault, son. Yeah, I think he got away with something there.
Slider, and again Ibanez fouls the pitch off. So he's fighting here, and he's behind 1 and 2.
Well, they're making him work. Ryan Howard made him work, and now Ibanez is, but so far he's won the battle.
Heath Bell, 5 innings of work. He's allowed just 1 hit. He's got 6 strikeouts during that time. He is not allowed to run. Ryan Matson came in with those similar numbers in tonight's game. He gave up 3 in the 8th. One's outside of the slider. It's 2 and 2. That almost looked like a changeup, but it was a slider.
He was trying to backdoor him that time and fool him. That was one of those ones where Bell just decided, I'm going to try and backdoor him and freeze him and strike him out that way. And he, obviously threw it way outside.
There's a lot of moving parts in that delivery. 3 and 2. This at bat is not over, but Ibanez has really fought hard and trying to get on for that guy, Jason Worth, who's in the on-deck circle. Slider hit back through the middle, a base hit for Ibanez. It's his 3rd hit of the night. He's been on base all 5 times, and it means the tying run is aboard. And the potential winning run is coming to the plate. That kid likes that.
Yeah, they're going to let Worth hit here, and then Stairs has moved out on deck to bat for Feliz. What a great at bat by Raul.
Tremendous.
What a good hitter this guy is.
I mean, the more you watch him, and again, he was on the West Coast for the last 3 years for most of his career. Played also with Kansas City. But the more you watch him, you love his approach to the way he goes about his business.
Guy's a professional hitter.
Jason Worth, the batter, with a runner on first. And Worth takes a fastball on the outside corner, according to Laz Diaz, for strike 1.
Now they have that no doubles defense still really deep with all the outfielders, and they're playing him slightly to right center with a huge gap in left center field. Now you see the outfield. They don't want to let a ball get past them. They want to cut off everything.
Big swing and a miss, and Worth is in the hole 0 and 2. That pitch back. Remember, Ibanez may not be the quickest runner, but he's arguably one of the best base runners that the Phillies have.
Those outfielders are so deep, you get a ball to the outfielder, get the 3rd. That's what. But you have to do that if you're defense right now, especially on the road, because your extra base hit gets you in trouble to lose the game.
Ball outside, 1 and 2. Still pumping it up there at 95 miles an hour.
And what a contrast to Hoffman, who used to come in throwing change-ups.
Heath Bell has said that he learned an awful lot from Trevor Hoffman, more about preparation than anything else. He's ahead 1 and 2 to Worth. The pitch, and in the air, foul. I'm going to find the seats, and Jason stays alive. Bell came up through the Mets system, but he basically has grown up the last couple of years in the Padres bullpen. Crowd of more than 44,000 on hand. Hoping that Jason Worth can extend the life of this 9th inning, or maybe end the game with one big swing. Got a piece of that one and fouled it straight back. So it remains 1 and 2. 21 pitches now for Heath Bell here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ibanez is a big reason why he's thrown so many pitches, because he was down at 0 and 2 Ran it to 3-2, fouled off a few, and then singled up the middle. And now he's the tying run, and he's on first. Slider outside, 2-2. Worth trying to keep his front side in there against Heath Bell. But Black watching on. He watched his starter last just 3 2/3. And that youngster watched Cole Hamels, the Phillies starter, go the first 6. 2-2 pitch from Heath Bell. Fastball popped up. That's going to go into shallow right field. It's a mile high. Eckstein is there, so is Giles. And they're 2 away. So Ibanez back at first. He remains the potential tying run as Worth has been retired.
This will be an interesting matchup right now.
You got a guy that just loves the fastball. He can backleg it with the best of them. These fans have fallen in love with the Canadian. And a home run in the postseason will do that for you.
They're going to continue to hold Ibanez on at first base even with 2 outs.
Sayers takes a slider high. It's 1-0.
Just another example of how they're doing everything they can to prevent even the game from getting tied on an extra base hit or a ground ball or a base hit to the outfield that could score him all the way from first if they don't hold him on.
The active career leaders in pitch hit home runs. Stairs is atop that list. Hit one just past weekend in Colorado.
He doesn't want to walk him here necessarily, but he may not give anything to hit either.
He may just throw one slider after another as he's fallen behind 2-0.
Now Stairs will look in an area when he gets to this point. He throws something hard away. He takes that stuff when he's ahead.
Another slider, another ball. It's 3-0. Is that light flashing green right here?
Oh yeah. Charlie will trust him that he wouldn't chase a bad ball. But it just doesn't look like they want to pitch to him. Like they're not afraid to put, the winning run on at first base and take their chances with Coast.
Ibanez takes his lead off first at 3-0. There is a fastball, and Stairs taken all the way. A slider that's in for a strike, and Stairs thought it was ball 4.
It was.
Laz Diaz has had a peculiar strike zone.
The pitch is high.
Oh yeah.
Not a strike.
Nope. So the count full. Ibanez will lead off first. He'll take off with this pitch. Gonzalez plays behind him. There he goes, 3-2 pitch. Fastball called, strike 3, right on the inside corner. And Heath Bell continues his perfect start to the 2009 season. It's save number 6 for Bell. And that was a fastball and a spot.